Hey, Robbie, how you doing? Hey, Dwayne. Welcome, welcome. All right, good for you, Robbie. There's Carlos Yaz. Welcome in, bud. All right, all right, guys. Let's move on here. We're in old time baseball, and we're gonna stay with the Chicago White Sox. All right, and they're gonna be playing the Boston Red Sox again. So let's do this. So Robert and RGO Network had a great game going on earlier, so definitely want to check that. All right. Make sure we got this right. Yep. Okay. All right. So Chicago dropped its first to the Red Sox. So let's do a watch team and let's see what we're gonna do. All right. Yep. All right. And let's do this, man. And I think for a change tonight, we'll have Kurt Gowdy call the game instead of Mel Allen, even though Mel says more of the names. So, and computer, la 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 la. Everything looks good. And let's play. All right. Looks like Babe Ruth will be the starting pitcher tonight for the Boston Red Sox, and he'll be going against lefty Williams of the Chicago White Sox. So the batting order first for the Boston Red Sox, and then Kurt Gowdy will take over this broadcast. There's Robert. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. John Lennon, that counts. Yep. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Gotta love it. Great stuff from John. Still looking forward to the new Beatles tune, or the very final one coming out this year. Don't know when, but then we can say, Robert, now and then the Pirates win a ball game, and that will count. So anyhow, guys, before we finish this, great game, Pirates-Dodgers game tonight on RJO Network. Make sure to check it out. Another contender for Game of the Year. I still think the Pirates-Giants one was probably the game of the year, but that Red Sox-Yankees game was killer the other night, and tonight's Pirates-Dodgers game, good stuff. But a little ways to go as Robert's in the middle of August in that 2016 season. All right. So leading off at second base, Jack Barry, batting second in right field, Harry Hooper, batting third in left field, Duffy Lewis, and the cleanup spot in center field, Tilly Walker. Batting fifth, shortstop Everett Scott. Batting sixth, the third base, Larry Gardner. Batting seventh, first baseman Dick Blitzel. Batting eighth and catching, Sam Agnew. And batting ninth and pitching, Babe Ruth for the hometown Chicago White Sox. Leading off, and yes, he could actually play second base. I'm sorry, I'm reading myself wrong. So, leading off, playing second base, of course he could play second base. Eddie Collins batting second at first base. Chick Gandil batting third at the hot corner. Buck Weaver batting fourth in center field. Hap Felsch batting fifth. Left fielder Joe Jackson batting sixth and catching. Ray Cracker Schock. And then batting seventh at short, Swede Risberg. Batting eighth in right field, Nemo Leibold. And Lefty Williams taking them out and batting ninth. So let's get to the ballpark. Kurt Gowdy is going to call this one tonight instead of Mel Allen. There's Bernard. Welcome in, Bernard.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to historic Fenway Park in beautiful Boston, where today we'll see Chicago play Boston. Today the weather's cold with 60% humidity. The wind is blowing from right to left at about 15 miles per hour. Looming over the players in left field is the famous Green Monster, friend to so many Boston hitters over the years, and the place where Ted Williams played balls off that wall superbly, as did Carl Yastrzemski. In the race for the pennant, Boston is tied for the lead in the divisional race. Chicago trails Boston by 1 game. Hi, I'm Kurt Gowdy, and I'm here to bring you all the action. Starting off the inning, Eddie Collins, hitting .289. Next up, Chick Gandil, hitting .273. Hot grounder up the middle, out at second. Double play. That's out number 2. Next batter, Buck Weaver, batting .284.
Good to see you guys in here tonight. Thank you very much.
Ball for a Watson. Coming up next, Happy Felsch, hitting .308. It bounces through the infield. That's a base hit for Felsch. Next up, Joe Jackson, hitting .301.
I think what we're going to do is set the simulated stats now that we have a game in. All right, there we go. Yeah, it definitely is, Dwayne. Excellent graphics for 1995
back
game.
To the pitcher, out at second. That ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left. Middle of the first. It's 0-0. Starting off the inning, Jack Barry, hitting .250.
And a very, very flexible game. As flexible as Baseball for Windows, Action PC. It's pretty amazing. Out of the park. This game was way ahead of its time.
Here's the pitch. Ball for a Watson. Coming to bat with Harry Hooper, hitting .250. The runner goes. Slow grounder back to the pitcher. Look out. That throw sailed high and wide, and it's going to be an error on lefty Williams. That drives in a run. It's 1-0. That brings up Duffy Lewis, hitting .333.
White Sox having trouble with these Red Sox.
Grounded to third. Got him. Next up, Tilly Walker, hitting .250.
Yeah, that seems to be pretty popular, Dwayne, the little error whistle sound.
Loop to right. How about that, sports fans? A leaping grab by Collins. That's out number 2. Double play. That ends the inning. 1 run, no hits, 1 error, and nobody left on. After 1, Boston 1, Chicago 0. Leading off the inning, Ray Shack.
And that should be Ray Shock, Kurt, but that's okay.
Liner to right. Base hit for Shack. Now batting, Swede Riceburg. The pitch. Strike 3. 1 out. Up next, Nemo Lebold. The runner goes. Fly ball to left. Hot by Lewis. That's 2 down. And he drops it. Double play. That ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Middle of the second, it's 1-0. Starting off the inning, Everett Scott, hitting .250.
Hey, Todd, welcome in. How you doing? Probably be doing some MLB The Show before Legends gets back to his season 2.
Grounded to second. The throw to first. Got him. That's one down. Next up, Larry Gardner.
But it's nice to visit the granddaddy of that game right here.
Ball for Watson. That brings up Dick Blitzel. The runner goes. Strike 3. Struck him out. 2 outs now. Got him. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. After 2, Chicago trails Boston by 1 run. Leading off is Lefty Williams.
They're included in the game, Dwayne. I wish there was a way I could add more. But they're included with the game.
Strike 3. 1 down. Now batting Eddie Collins. Hitting .250.
If I could somehow mod this game, I'd love to make these old-time uniforms. This is, but...
Liner to first. He takes it to the bag himself. That's 2 down. Next batter, Chick Gandil. He's 0 for 1 today. That one's up the left field alley. That one's going to the wall. He throws to second. He's out at second. That ends the inning. 3 down. After 2.5 innings, Boston 1, Chicago 0.
Hey, Texags, welcome
Leading
in.
off the inning, Sam Agnew, batting .333.
Oh yeah, they're beautiful. A lot of people have borrowed these for in different games. You'll see these, including Baseball for Windows.
Popped up to short. He makes the catch. 1 out. Next up, Babe Ruth. Fly ball to center. Hot by Felsch. That's 2 down. Next batter, Jack Berry. Hitting .250. Grounded back to the pitcher. Got him, and that's the 3rd out. 3 down. Going to the 4th, Boston 1, Chicago 0. Leading off the inning, Buck Weaver.
So, the thing is with this text, if you look around for ballparks for games like Action PC and Digital Diamonds, Baseball for Windows, with Baseball for Windows, it's really, really hard to set up the ballparks in that game. But for easy ones like Digital Diamond and for this one, basically just start out with just a basic Google search, ballpark images. I've found almost all of these ballparks. I've seen them in other ball games, and the same with Tony La Russa baseball as well. But it'd be great if somebody did kind of make a central repository of ballparks and host them on a site. I think that would be a lot of fun. I know just for Action PC baseball, I think I've got something like 6 gigabytes or something worth of ballparks. But just right now, I can't afford. I know I've been talking about creating a sort of community website and everything, but right now hosting is a little bit ridiculous because I also want to post files for Action PC, Baseball for Windows stuff, Out of the Park quick starts, things like that. So I will keep you guys in mind, but as I find these Texags, I'll post them in the Discord. As I'll post Shibe Park. I think that's the one you were talking about when I did my second game today, Action PC Baseball. I'll definitely post that Shibe up there for you.
The pitch. Rounded to third. The throw to first. Got him. 1 down. Coming up next, Happy Felsch. He's 1 for 1 with a single. The pitch. High chop. The throw to first. Got him. 2 outs now. That brings up Joe Jackson. He's 0 for 1 in this game.
Hey, Robbie, if you're here still, would you mind dropping a Discord, or the Ned McGreevy Discord for TexAgs, and also the Baseball Geek Squad, because there's ballparks on both of them, TexAgs. Thank you, Robbie. Appreciate it.
Here's
This
the pitch.
game has the greatest pause feature ever.
Fly ball to deep right field. He makes the catch. That retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. 3.5 down as Chicago trails Boston by 1 run. Leading off is Harry Hooper. He's 0 for 1 in this game.
So just an editorial comment. Thank you, Robbie. So just an editorial comment, if you think about it. So you have to really mess around with out-of-the-park baseball if you're doing it, like if you're streaming. So I set the play-by-play at the top to like super fast, and because I just use it for just for reference if I miss a play. But the thing is if you don't mess with that, you find that the action on the field doesn't really sync up very well with what's going on in the field. And what amazes me with this is how well this game does it for 1995. It's just great. Baseball for Windows does it very well, as does Diamond Mine Baseball, but there's no animation in those 2 games. Action PC has rudimentary, and there's a little bit of a delay there. So this is something that Don Daglow and Clay Dresselov and others got right in this game. Was able to sync up things pretty nicely. Thanks again, Robbie, for dropping those links for Tex. You have to look around, Tex, but there are ballparks in both Discords.
He delivers. High chop to second. The throw to first. Got him.
Absolutely, Robbie.
Duffy Lewis. He's 0 for 1 in this game.
Bernie had a good game earlier tonight, guys.
Grounded to first. He takes it to the bag himself. That's out number 2. Up next, Tilly Walker. He's 0 for 1 in this game.
So there's been a lot of good content out there, a lot of good baseball.
And here's the payoff pitch. That's his second walk. Coming up next, Everett Scott. He's 0 for 1 in this game.
Yeah, me too, Todd. He needs to get out of sports or baseball mogul.
Liner to center. It bounces through the infield. Single for Scott. Next up, Larry Gardner.
I've heard Season Ticket is really, really good.
Here's the pitch. Hot grounder up the middle. Throws to second. Out at second. Well, the side's retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left stranded. Top of the 5th. Boston 1, Chicago 0.
Looking forward
Leading
to
off
that.
the inning, Ray Shack. He's 1 for 1 with a single.
Babe Ruth with a 1-hitter thus far. Or just giving up 1 run thus far, I should say.
Liner to center. It is gone.
Oh well, so much for that. Hey, there's World's Worst Gamer. Good to see you. Bonjour. Bonjour, mon ami.
That's a solo shot for Shack with a score tied at 1. That brings up Swede Riceberg. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
The pronunciations aren't as good as in Baseball for Windows. It's Risberg. But still, Kurt, we love you. We'll see if Mel Allen does it right next game we do in this thing.
Popped up to short. Caught by Scott. One out. That brings up Nemo Leibold. He's 0 for 1 in this game.
So, trivia for you guys, though. This is not the first baseball sim with animation, however. So, yeah, I mean, there were things like Hardball, but that's, an arcade game and things like that. But games like Micro League Baseball might be the great-granddaddy of a lot of the digital baseball sims that we play. So, I plan to show a version of Micro League Baseball fairly soon on the channel. Hope you guys will enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. The play-by-play for its time was actually pretty nice. And the game was endorsed by Sparky Anderson, so not too bad. He called it the Baseball Buddha.
Here's the pitch. Liner to third. The throw to first. Got him. That brings up Lefty Williams. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
But this was the first baseball sim that had 3D graphics for the day. And this type of animation. This
High
good.
chop to second. The throw to first. Got him. And that's the third out. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Middle of the fifth, Chicago 1, Boston 1. Starting off the inning, Dick Hoblitzel. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
Oh, yeah, World's Worst Gamer. The ballparks in this, they had access to blueprints for the almost all of the ballparks that were included here, and they created them from those blueprints. They did a fantastic
He
job.
delivers. The second. Got him. 1 down. Up next, Sam Agnew. He's 0 for 1 in this game.
They're going to be just part of like some posts, Texags.
Popped up the catcher.
So, it's basically going to be searching around into the leagues that we have. Wow, $8 each for, for the teams. Oh my God.
Liner to left. He makes the catch. 2 down.
Sheesh. That's expensive.
Babe Ruth. He's 0 for 1 in this game.
So, if you were playing oh my God, so that's oh my God, so it's 200 and let's say you want a 30 team season, $240. Oh, Clay, no, that's not going to work. Yow. Ouch, ouch, ouch. $240 for 30 teams. That's no. Maybe that's why he's taking his time on a PC version.
They're short, and he drops it. Throws to second.
Okay, that's more
Next
reasonable.
batter, Jack Berry. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and with 1 run scored.
Carlos used to have this game. Cool. It's an excellent baseball
goes.
game. It really is.
Line drive to left. Diving stop by Felsch. That's a base hit for Berry. That brings up Harry Hooper. He's 0 for 2 in this game.
Thing is about this game, though, and it's you can still get it. I look back on one of my broadcasts. I put a link in the chat fairly early on where you can get this. The trick to this game is you have to go into manager profiles and really tweak everything, or it doesn't play. It won't play as well as it can. So, for anybody that picks this up again, just refer to that video where I kind of teach you some things about what you can do with this game. It's really, really a mile wide and a mile deep. There are some issues with it, of course.
High chop to second. The throw to first. Got him. That'll do it in the fifth. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 runners left. 5 innings gone with a score tied at 1. Leading off is Eddie Collins. He's 0 for 1 to walk.
So, Carlos, got to ask you here. You say you nearly purchased Out of the Park today. What held you up? I'm just curious.
Liner to second. The throw to first. Got him. 1 out. Up next, Chick Gandil. He's 1 for 2 with a single. Liner to left. That's a base hit for Gandil. Coming to bat with Buck Weaver. He's 0 for 1 to walk.
I would just say this, Carlos, and again, I'll preface this by saying I think it's one of the best baseball simulations, period. If you want to do season replays, you've got everything from 1871 to today. If you want to do what if stuff, it's certainly easy to do. You want to play minor league baseball, it's there. Negro League baseball, everything's there. So again, since I'm not sure what you're looking for in a game, wait till it goes on sale. It's frequently on sale. It's wow. Out of the Park is a fantastic baseball game. I'll say this, it's very polarizing. I've never seen a game so polarizing as Out of the Park baseball, and the people who hate it with a passion, and those of us who love it with an equal passion. Robert's right. You can't go wrong with it.
Strike 3. Struck him out. 2 down. Throws to second. Got him. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on. Well, we played 5.5 with a score tied at 1.
Oh, they're so easy to do, Carlos.
Dusty Lewis. He's 0 for 2 in this game.
Hang around. I'll show you something, just a couple real fast things after this game, if you can, with Out of the Park baseball. And Robert's right. You cannot go wrong with it. It's excellent.
Long drive. That ball is going. Foul. And here's the payoff pitch. Line drive to left. Caught by Jackson. That's 1 down. Coming to bat with Tilly Walker. He's 0 for 1 to walk.
Jim Scott pitching now for the White Sox.
Grounded. Look out. That throw sailed high and wide, and it's going to be an error on Swede Riceburg. Pinch hitting for Del Gaynor, the right-hander.
Then Out of the Park is the game for you, Carlos, I'm telling you.
Here's the pitch. High fly to center. He makes the catch. 2 down. Up next, Larry Gardner. He's 0 for 1 to walk.
Yeah, World's Worst Gamer was not a fan at first of Out of the Park baseball. I would say this. So my 2 favorite are baseball sims. There's 4 I play consistently. Of those 4, the 2 I play most are Out of the Park baseball and Action PC baseball. Out of the Park baseball, I think, is more suited for career play. Ron Juckett even brought this up. And others. Action PC, I think, is better for single season replays. But that's not to say that you can't do, career play in Action PC or just single season in Out of the Park baseball. But Out of the Park baseball has, the 2 complement one another so well. But again, if you don't want to plump down the $40 right now for it, or, give it a wait till it goes on sale. But it is the bargain on the market. It really is. And a pretty damn good baseball engine underneath. And I'm not a show for them. I don't work for them.
Here's the pitch. Grounded. Throws to second. Out at second. That ends the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left. Beginning of the 7th with a score tied at 1. Starting off the inning, Happy Felsch. He's 1 for 2 with a single.
Well, Todd, you're a big fan of MLB The Show, and it doesn't get any more closed than that.
Rounded to third. It goes to the left side. Single for Felsch. Up next, Joe Jackson. He's 0 for 2 today.
I'll tell you what, just on the other side of the coin, though. So, I mean, I like cards and dice baseball, but I always found that I like better playing head-to-head with somebody than sort of managing against myself. But watching Robert probably maybe 3-4 times a week when I can, and baseball demos when I can catch him doing his thing, I'll tell you what, once Chris gets into some older seasons, which I know is going to be a little while, I think Robert's made me kind of like, because the game I loved most, cards and dice, if you want to call it that, right, was Status Pro Baseball, followed closely by APBA. But Inside Pitch, watching Robert play that game, it's like that thing flows so well that, I mean, as soon as I hear that he's doing, even if it's 1949, I'm on board, right? As soon as he goes, before 1950, I'm loving watching Robert and David, or Baseball Demos, who Robert informs me was actually playing Inside Pitch before he was. So I'm looking forward to getting into that game. So, not that I'm give up digital baseball, never ever. But I could definitely see myself playing Inside Pitch. Really like it. Be going back to watch Robert and David to get a good kind of instruction, on what's going on in the game, because Robert does some cool things with it. And I'm not saying that because he's here either. It's just true.
Runner goes. Line drive to left. It's off the wall. He dives in safely. 1 run score. It's 2-1. Up next, Ray Shack. He's 2 for 2 with a single and with a homer.
Yeah, Dwayne, I think it is 1956. So I can't even play the 55 Dodgers in that, so.
Rounded to third. Look out. That throw sailed high and wide, and it's going to be an error on Larry Gardner.
Welcome to dead ball. Lots of errors. Wait a minute.
That drives in a run. It's 3-1.
Oof.
Coming to bat with Swede Riceburg. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout.
World's Worst Gamer. Hey, there he is, Christopher Slovic. He'll be on Friday morning, 10 a.m. on this channel. So hopefully some of you can make it and listen from work. I'm not afraid of advanced players or advanced games at all. I'm not saying you're saying that, World's Worst Gamer. I used to play Strat Super Advanced, played the APBA Master game, full out everything in Status Pro. In fact, the more moving parts in a game, the better for me. This coming from a long-time D&D player and fan of complex games like Magic the Gathering and things like that. So, yeah, I'm ready to hop into Inside Pitch, but you got to go before 1950, and I'm there. Even put on an all-time greats franchise set. That would be fun. But I know Chris is, he'll get to it. He'll get to it.
Ball for Watson. That's his second walk.
Chicago looking for its first win of the season
Coming
here.
to bat with Nemo Lebo. He's 0 for 2 in this game.
Oh, it is, Todd. I didn't know that.
Liner to center. That one's going to the wall. Throw to the plate. That's a double for Lebo. Driving in a run. Chicago 4, Boston 1. Coming up next, Lefty Williams. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout.
Let's hope you are, Texags. Let's hope you are.
Call strike 3. 1 down. Coming up next, Eddie Collins. He's 0 for 2 at a walk.
Yeah, Robert, in your broadcast tonight when you were talking about the pitch-by-pitch data, I went back to that site, Back to Baseball, and I think they started getting that data or whatever. I think it was like the late 1920s. Might have even been after that, because I'm not sure that was actually, or how many teams that was kept for. So, but digging around side baseball definitely goes back a bit, but I understand him needing a substitute. He's got a crazy accurate game there, and I can certainly understand him not wanting to compromise it. So he can take his time. I certainly have plenty of baseball to play, but I am looking forward to inside pitch. It's just phenomenal, man. I could play some 1970s baseball on it, I guess. My Buccos and the Cincinnati Reds and some great baseball. 1970s, great decade. So they're all great decades, damn it. Come on, it's baseball. All right, Chicago opening it up here in the seventh, 2 on.
Stretch. Popped up the catcher.
Who's going to get it, Kurt?
He makes the catch.
All
That's
right.
out number 2. Next batter, Chick Gandil. He's 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Hot grounder. Got him. 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 runners left stranded. Heading to the bottom of the 7th, Chicago leads Boston by 3 runs. Leading off the inning, Dick Hoblitzel. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Popped up the catcher. Foul.
So the hissing sound you hear on mic is I'm practicing something called a perfect Pharaoh shuffle. So if you hear that, those are cards
Strike
weaving.
3, struck him out. 1 down. That brings up Sam Agnew. He's 0 for 2 in this game.
So the idea is it's a riffle shuffle in which every card interlaces perfectly. And it's very, very advanced bit of sleight of hand. But so if you'll hear this sound every once in a while, like this. Yep. So that's doing a bridge out of a perfect Pharaoh shuffle. So if you don't believe me, look it up. It's a crazy hard bit of sleight of hand.
He comes to the plate. Popped up to 3rd. Caught by Weaver. That's 2 down. Coming to bat with Babe Ruth. He's 0 for 2 today. Grounded up the middle. It bounces through the infield. Single for Ruth. Next up, Jack Berry. He's 1 for 2 with 1 run scored and with a single. Here's the pitch.
Yeah, 8 times. Carlos Yaz buying out of the park baseball. All right.
A base hit for Berry. Next batter, Harry Hooper. He's 0 for 3.
I think Robert sold you on it.
Rounded up the middle. Diving stop by Riceburg. Out at 2nd. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left stranded. Top of the 8th. Chicago leads Boston by 3 runs. Starting off the inning, Buck Weaver. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk.
So big clue as far as the perfect Pharaoh, I never do it 8 times. I don't use it for that application. But I tell you where I do use it, since I know you have a bit of an interest in magic. If you know, there's an old legend that some gangsters had challenged the great John Scarney. And if you guys have seen the movie The Sting, so in the sequence on the train where Paul Newman is controlling those cars with false cuts and shuffles and that, those aren't Paul Newman's hands. It's actually John Scarney. Pardon me. Anyhow, Scarney was in Italian it'd be Scarne, but we say Scarney, so we'll keep it at that in English. Scarney was challenged by gangsters to dead cut to the 4 aces from a shuffled deck. So there's been tons and tons and tons of methods to do that, where a spectator legitimately shuffles the deck. And I've come up with my own version, I think. So, can take anybody's deck, let them shuffle it, square it up, and I can dead cut to the 4 aces. I'm hitting it 9 times out of 10. And yeah, the Pharaoh Shuffle plays a part in it, Big Clue. That's all I'll say. There's other slates as well, but there you are. Yeah, Dwayne, good reminder to Carlos. Yes.
Rounded to third. It goes to the left side. A base hit for Weaver. Next up, Happy Felsch. He's 2 for 3 with 1 run scored and with 2 singles.
Yeah, Big Clue. That was one of the first ones. Everything I've said is pretty much gibberish, Todd. As far as
hot by Barry. 1 down.
So,
coming up next, Joe Jackson. He's 1 for 3 with 1 run batted in and with a triple.
So yeah, even if you knew how to do a perfect Pharaoh Shuffle, to be able to dead cut to the 4 aces, you need more than that. Anyhow, Carlos, I have to show you how that the stadium mod thing works. And Mike Silva, the guy who creates it, stops into the broadcast every once in a while. So, you see him, you like the mod, give him a nice thank you. It's brilliant. All right, let's finish this out. We're in the 8th.
The runner goes. Throws to second. He slides in under the tag. A stolen base for Weaver. The pitch. Long drive. That ball is going. He reels it in on the warning track. 2 outs now. Throw to third. Double play. That ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on. Going to the bottom of the 8th, Chicago leads Boston by 3. Starting off the inning, Duffy Lewis. He's 0 for 3 in this game.
Yep, cousin Kurt Gowdy calling it tonight instead of Mel Allen. Welcome in, bud.
Grounded. The throw to first. Got him. That's the first out of the inning. Next batter, Tilly Walker. He's 0 for 2 in a walk.
So there's one more step you have to do, Carlos, after you subscribe to that mod.
Liner to center. He makes the play. 2 outs now.
Clinton Parks, welcome in.
Next up, a real speed burner.
Says he remembers when Gowdy was the voice of the Boston Red Sox.
Line to short, and he drops it. He throws to second. Next up, Larry Gardner. He's 0 for 2 in a walk. Popped up. Foul. Grounded. He throws to second. Out at second. That ends the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left. Heading to the 9th, Chicago 4, Boston 1. Leading off is Ray Shack. He's 2 for 3 with a single and with a homer. Ball for a Watson. That's 3 walks given up, and we've only played 5 innings.
One of the glitches in the game.
He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk.
We've played more than 5, Kurt, so this game has some glitches.
The runner goes.
To be expected, I think.
Throws to second. Got him.
There is a patch for this game, but I can't find it.
Here's the pitch. Grounded. The throw to first. Got him. That's 2 down. Now batting, Nemo Lebo. He's 1 for 3 with 1 run batted in and a double. The pitch. High chop to first. He takes it to the bag himself. That ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. Going to the home half of the ninth, Chicago 4, Boston 1. Starting off the inning, Dick Blitzel. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts.
I think so, Todd B. I think he is.
Strike 3, struck him out. That's 1 down. That's the first strikeout he's recorded today. Now batting, Sam Agnew. He's 0 for 3 today. Grounded. The throw to first. Got him. 2 outs now. Up next, Babe Ruth. He's 1 for 3 with a single. Popped up to second. Foul. Grounded back to the pitcher. The throw to first. Got him. Well, the side's retired. 3 up, 3 down. After 9 complete, it's 4-1. And the game's over. Chicago wins. This is Kurt Gowdy signing off. Hope you enjoyed today's broadcast, and we'll see you tomorrow.
So the Mel Allen commentary is a lot more robust. He says more names. There's more, a little bit more going on, but there's kind of the same glitches. I don't know if these guys are working off a script or what have you. But anyhow, so Chicago gets its first win of the season. They go to 1-1. Boston falls to 1-1. For the Chicago White Sox, 4 runs, 9 hits, 4 errors. The Boston Red Sox, 1 run, 4 hits, and 1 error. And there's our box score. And let's look at the other team. So we had 1 stolen base in this game, and that was by Bucky Weaver. And a triple by shoeless Joe Jackson. So, and Ray Schock hit a home run, and that had tied the game. All right, so we'll go ahead and, I think we're going to save this. There we go. It's all saved. All right, I'm going to exit to the system and then bring up Out of the Park Baseball for a minute, even though I just want to make sure Carlos gets the thing right. So let's exit the game. Let's quit the system. Let's bring up Steam. Yes, I know, 1 billion icons. Can you believe it? It's disgusting. Carlos, I really think you're going to like, I think you're going to like Out of the Park Baseball. Definitely, when you do season replays, what's really, really cool is, let's say you're doing an earlier season replay. And definitely get the uniform mod as well. It will automatically like do the high socks and everything, but you can actually go in and edit uniforms and the players. It's really cool. It's not MLB The Show yet, but I think that's what they're striving for. But I do want to show you something that's really, really important, because this throws people off with the ballpark mod if Steam ever comes up. There it comes. All right. Boy, there's so many cool Steam games out I want to get, but I have like too many of them already, so I guess. Anyhow, so when you go into your library and you find Out of the Park Baseball, just any game that has workshop support. So I'll show you one that does, and why this is a little different. Oh my God. So Sins of a Solar Empire, if you guys play that game, this actually has, it just got another patch. This game's been out forever, and they're still patching it. And the second one is out, and they're still patching the first one. So first I'm going to go to a game called Aranorth Chronicles. E-R-A, come on, you can do this. So normally, as you guys know, let's go to a workshop. And this is a great game, by the way. So when you subscribe normally to something in the Steam Workshop, when you click on it, so I'm not going to do Elves Can't, I'm not going to subscribe. But if I would click subscribe right now to this, it would automatically download it. That is not the case with Out of the Park Baseball. And this is the big throw off on this. So let's let this refresh. And let's go to Out of the Park Baseball. And let's play. So, well, first let's look at the workshop, right? So there's historical uniforms, logos, and jerseys, and the historical stadiums. These are both done by Mike Silva. You know, he's had some help with these, but Mike Silva is definitely principal. What I would suggest, Carlos Yaz, is, I mean, a lot of guys are fans of Face Gen. Um, it's okay, I think, for say players from the 1960s on up, but when you go back, it's really not that very good. Not actually, it's not good at all. Hannes Wagner with a goatee, that never happened. Um, I use real player photos. If you have Action PC Baseball, you can use those same photos. Just copy them into your out of the park directory, and you're good to go. All right, but anyhow, so first thing that you would do here, right? So we'll just use this because this is the best mod ever. So you're going to subscribe to it here, okay? And then go back to your library, and then when you hit the play button in Steam, I'm guessing you bought it from Steam, rather than the developers straight up. Rolling some puck. I never heard hockey called that. That's funny. All right. So then, Carlos, just to make sure, then what you want to do is down here at the bottom, you want to go to Workshop Central, because even though you subscribe to that mod, it's not downloaded or installed. This messed me up. I think it was Out of the Park 18 or 19, or whatever, the first year that Mike did this, right? So here you're going to see the mods you've downloaded, and then over here you will have the opportunity, and it will say, you know, click here to download and install this mod. If you miss this, the ballparks won't come in. Okay. Um, so just, yeah. Okay. So make sure you do that. Don't forget this second step, Workshop Central. I don't know why the workshop integration is weird in this game. I haven't seen any other game in Steam that has this strange workshop integration, but there you go. So, yeah, I think Fall Classic. You guys are talking about Fall Classic Baseball, though. That thing's expensive, though, as hell, isn't it? If I remember correctly, I wanted to get into that game, and I was looking at like the prices for teams, and it's like, whoa. Let me sell one of my 9 Porsches, maybe. All right, you're welcome, Carlos. Okay, then it's a different Fall Classic that I was looking at then. Because the one I was looking at, I remember Robbie and I were talking about this like 3 years ago or something. Like, oh my God, I'd love to get this game, but look at the prices. Yikes. All right, well, I have up Out of the Park 24. I should do something with it. What time is it? Yeah, let's do a game. Since Carlos is not going to need any further instruction on this. So Carlos, if you pick a World Series, you do a season replay. If you do, say, a what-if thing of teams from all through history, it will automatically assign the proper logo and the proper ballpark. It's really, really brilliant. Okay, so printed, it's $60 a season. Okay, that was the thing. So, yeah, PDF might not be too bad. It gets really high marks from Ken, actually. He's a big Fall Classic Baseball fan. I think that's the one that was developed by that Harvard professor, if I'm not mistaken. All right, let's do a game. Why not? So Kurt Gowdy had 18 people in here. I have 11 and shrinking. It's all good. It is all good. There's a little Jimmy Fox quote here. All right, let's see what we have on the board here for what might be a fun game to play. Also, Carlos, I would say make sure to check out the quick starts. And if you do the all-time great quick starts, which is what I'm using here, just know you're going to have to really edit it. All right, guys, we have a couple possibilities here. Giants Rockies, just to see Mathewson versus Jimenez, Ubaldo Jimenez. Orioles Red Sox, maybe. White Sox Tigers looks kind of intriguing. Red Faber and Hal Newhouser. I'm kind of leaning toward that game. Or we could do Royals versus. Let's do Royals versus Indians because Todd B is in here. I think we should do an Indians game. So this is going to be Dennis Leonard versus Addie Joss. We'll be playing in Cleveland. Now, if the all-time quick starts, this does use the, the current ballparks. You can change that up if you want, but I left it that way. All right, here we go. So, of course, using the designated hitter, it's American League. Leading off in left field, Willie Wilson batting second, Frank White. So both Willie Wilson and Frank White are playing day-to-day with injuries. Batting third at the hot corner, George Brett. At cleanup, Carlos Beltran in center field. Batting fifth, first baseman Mike Sweeney. Batting sixth and DH, John Mayberry. Batting seventh, right fielder Jermaine Dye. Batting eighth and catching Darrell Porter. And batting ninth at shortstop, Freddie Patek. Dennis Leonard taking the hill. 1 win, 1 loss, 5.21 earned run average, 1.37 whip, 6.6 strikeouts per 9 innings, and 4.3 walks. This is the second Royals game I've done on this channel today. That's weird. All right, for the hometown, the Cleveland Indians. Leading off in center field, Larry Doby. Batting second at second base, Napoleon Lajoie. Batting third in DH, Manny Ramirez. Batting cleanup in left field, Albert Bell. Batting fifth, right fielder, Rocky Colavito. Batting sixth, first baseman, Travis Hafner. Batting seventh, shortstop, Lou Boudreau. Batting eighth and catching, John Romano, getting some playtime. And batting ninth at third base, Ken Keltner. And taking the mound and pitching, the great Addie Joss. 1 win, 1 loss, a 3.92 earned run average so far in the season. And let's get to Progressive Field. Where we have clear skies. It's 43 degrees and the wind blowing in from right 11 miles per hour, so still chilly here in Cleveland in April. Yeah, you can click view and just change everything all around. And you know what? It's not MLB The Show yet. But for a text-based baseball sim, this thing looks beautiful. It really does. And a damn fine statistical engine, or damn fine engine, baseball engine running underneath. All right, let's look at it now as we got Albert Bell in left, Larry Doby in center, Rocky Colavito in right, Travis Hafner at first, Lajoie at second, Boudreau at short, Keltner at third, John Romano catching, and Addie Joss ready to deal to Willie Wilson. So before the pan around here, Progressive Field, or I still like to call it Jacobs Field. But Willie Wilson hitting .333 in the season with 2 runs batted in. And let's get this ball game started. And I just like this little panoramic view. It's almost like Marcus and those guys are saying, we're going to be the text-based version of MLB The Show. All right, Josh ready to deal. Willie Wilson swings, and line drive caught at third base by Ken Keltner. What a great play to start off the inning, or start off the game. All right, here is Frank White now. White hitting .293. He's batted in 10 with 2 home runs. Josh peers in, has the sign from John Romano. Here's the 3-1 delivery to Frank White. And this one skied to left field, and camping under it and making a nice easy catch is Albert Bell. So 2 up, 2 down here for George Brett. George Brett hitting a healthy .313 in the young season. 11 runs batted in, and he has circled the bases twice. Addie Joss deals the full count to Brett. Fastball. This one lined to center, and this will get down for a base hit. So George Brett is aboard, and that's the first hit of this ball game. And striding to the plate, center fielder Carlos Beltran hitting .247, 13 ribbies, 4 dingers. Brett conservative lead off first. Joss comes home, the 2-2 pitch to Beltran. Beltran swings, grounded deep to short, and up with it is Lou Boudreau and fires across to first for the out. So the Royals leave a runner, and we go to the bottom of the first. Kansas City nothing, and the Indians coming to bat. Starting defense here from left to right for the Kansas City Royals. In left field, Willie Wilson. In center, Carlos Beltran. In right field, Jermaine Dye. From first to third, Mike Sweeney, Frank White, Freddie Patek, and George Brett. Darryl Foster donning the tools of ignorance tonight, and pitching is Dennis Leonard. Leading off here, Hall of Famer Larry Doby playing center field. Doby not really getting a lot of playing time here. He's in here now just filling in for tonight in center. So Doby just 1 for 10 on the season. Dennis Leonard ready to work now. Here is the wind and the 1-1 pitch. And this one line to left and right down into the glove of Willie Wilson. So Doby is out number 1 here in the bottom of the first. And Napoleon Lajoie comes to the plate. Lajoie off to a fine start, hitting .377, 11 runs batted in, and a home run. Dennis Leonard rocks and deals. The 1-0 pitch to Lajoie. Lajoie swings, and this one out to center field, and that was a little sinking liner, and Beltran makes a nice play. 2 up, 2 down for DH Manny Ramirez. Manny hitting .303, 16 ribbies, 5 home runs. Dennis Leonard has the sign from Darryl Porter, the 3-0 delivery to Ramirez. And this one missing outside and low, ball 4. So Ramirez working the walk on 4 pitches, and it brings up Albert Bell. Albert hitting .315, 17 ribbies, 4 home runs. Ramirez no speed at first. Leonard deals the 0-1 to Bell. Bell swings, and this one belted to right field. It's high, it's deep, and it is far enough. Albert Bell goes yard 337 feet. The Indians take a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. Texag says, what do I not enjoy in Outlet Park is that if you're playing 2 older teams, the scoreboard may say Chicago White Sox 19, and the last 2 digits are cut off. Seems like they could get the team name to be visible. Okay, so if you're talking up here, are you using the modern 3D view? Like I'm using, I like the modern 3D view, but you can also, if you want to try this, let's try the classic 3D view. And then there you go. Except I made this short. I have to fix this. But in the classic 3D view, you actually will get Kansas City and Cleveland. And I have no idea why I made that small like that. I have to fix that. But I usually don't play with this anyhow. But that might be something that you want to think about. Anyhow, I'm going to go back to modern 3D. You can also play this game if you want. If you want it to look like, say, Diamond Mine Baseball, you can go to a, yeah, I don't know why this is doing this. I think because I've been doing a lot of crazy stuff today on my PC, so I can't show the other views. But just go up to View, and you can change all that, and that might work for you. Yeah, so try Classic. Todd B says, Bell rounded the bases like he was chasing children at Halloween. All right, 2-0 Indians, 2 down. Here's Rocco Colavito. Rocky hitting .273, 13 ribbies, 4 home runs. 2-0 Indians lead, 1 away, or 2 away. Dennis Leonard deals the 1-0 delivery to Colavito. And Colavito sends this sinking liner to left, and a diving catch by Willie Wilson. What a play in left field. So the Indians pick up 2 runs. Nobody left on. We go to the top of the second. We're going to look at that play again. It's Cleveland 2, Kansas City nothing. Willie Wilson making a great play out there and left field off the bat of Colavito. And this one was sinking fast. And Wilson turning on the jets, and bam. Hits the grass hard. All right, Mike Sweeney leads it off here, followed by John Mayberry, and then Jermaine Dye. Sweeney hitting .288 in the season. 6 ribbies, a home run. Addie Joss with the 1-2 pitch to Mike Sweeney. Sweeney swinging a miss. Strike 3. So Addie Joss picks up his first K of the game, and here is John Mayberry. Mayberry hitting .262, 5 homers, 3 ribbies. Addie Joss has the sign from John Romano, the wind, and the 2-2 pitch to John Mayberry. Mayberry cuts on this one, fly ball, center field, And back on it and waiting for it to descend into his glove is Larry Doby. So 2 up, 2 down now for Jermaine Dye. Dye hitting just .213, 7 ribbies. He does have 4 home runs. Addy Joss deals the 2-2 pitch to Dye. Dye tried to hold up, but strike 3. Addy Joss gets him with the fastball. The Kansas City Royals go in order. We go to the bottom of the second. Cleveland 2 and Kansas City nothing. Travis Hafner, Lou Boudreau, and John Romano do up for the Tribe. Hafner hitting .417 with 3 ribbies and a home run, but 5 for 12 overall. Hafner not the full-time first baseman. Dennis Leonard deals. Here's the 0-2 to Hafner. Hafner looks at a called strike 3, painting the outside corner. All right, here's Lou Boudreau, Hall of Fame shortstop. Boudreau off to a torrid start. .414 average with 7 runs batted in. Leonard kicks and deals the payoff pitch to Lou Boudreau. Boudreau swings this one, just a routine grounder to third. Fielded nicely by George Brett, who fires onto Mike Sweeney for the 5-3 putout. So 2 up, 2 down for catcher John Romano. Romano, again, not the full-time catcher here, but he's 8 for 4 overall with a run batted in and a home run. Leonard deals to Romano, the 2-2 pitch on its way. Romano swings, fly ball, right field, but it does not have the distance. Angling under it and making the play is Jermaine Dye. So, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We go to the top of the third inning. Cleveland still leading Kansas City 2-0. And we'll see Darryl Porter, Freddie Patek, and Willie Wilson. Porter hitting .204, 6 runs batted in, 4 home runs. Addy Joss has struck out 2 thus far. The 3-1 pitch to Porter. Porter takes inside, ball 4. So Kansas City with the leadoff runner aboard, and stepping to the dish now is the diminutive but mighty Freddie Patek. Right now, however, not the greatest batting average, .143 with 2 runs batted in. And here's the pitch to Patek. Patek gets the bunt down, and it's a good one. So Joss checks second and goes to first. So Patek with a successful sacrifice, moving Porter to second. Christopher Slovic says this game is highly addictive. He says sometimes he gets burned out from this game, but by inning 2, I'm loving it again. When he's away from this game for a week or 2, I feel drawn back to it. Todd B plays action every day. I try to play them both every day. I just think they're both fantastic. And each has their strengths, and each has their weaknesses, for lack of a better term. The weakness in this one is working at the player level. But they're both just fantastic. All right, here's Willie Wilson now batting with 1 down. Wilson, nothing for 1. Wilson cuts on this one, liner to center field. This should get down for a base hit, and indeed it does. Wilson may have an RBI. The throw to the plate is off target, and in to score is Darryl Porter. So Willie Wilson picking up the RBI, and Kansas City now cuts this Cleveland lead in half, and Willie Wilson has some serious speed at first. So Frank White up there. Frank White, nothing for 1. Wouldn't be surprised to see Wilson off with the pitch. John Romano, average arm behind the plate. Joss has the sign, checks the speedy Wilson at first. The 2-1, runner does not go. Frank White swings. This one a bouncer to second. And they're going to turn the 4-6-3 double play initiated by Napoleon Lajoie. So side retire, but the Royals do pick up a run. It's now 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the third, and some American League action here in Cleveland, Ohio. Ken Keltner, Larry Doby, and Napoleon Lajoie do up for the Tribe. Keltner hitting .333, 2 runs batted in. Dennis Leonard deals to Keltner. Swung on, and this one fly ball to left, and running to his right toward the foul line, making the catch, Willie Wilson. 1 up, 1 down, and we're back at the top of the Cleveland order now. And Larry Doby, who is nothing for 1. First player of color in the American League, made his debut in 1948. Dennis Leonard with a 2-2 delivery to Larry Doby. Doby swings, high fly ball to left, very high, and watching it go out of this ball yard, Larry Doby goes yard 367 feet, and the Indians add to their lead. It is now 3-1. Touch 'em all, Mr. Doby. Let's give it a look. Exit velocity on this, 92.5 mile per hour. Doby going the other way on this one. And there's Todd B at the home run porch. All right. Napoleon Lajoie now, nothing for one. So you have Larry Doby in the Shanks League. Awesome. Linwood Falk, where can you find this game? You can get it on Steam, Linwood, and welcome to the channel. Never seen you here before. And you can also pick it up from outoftheparkdevelopments.com. I would suggest getting it from Steam so that you can get the ballpark mods and all the other stuff. So welcome in to the channel. Welcome. You're here amongst, this is one big family in here. Christopher says, I would find it really funny if someone here was an air traffic controller currently on the job watching this. So would I. Also, with the way I call a game, I would be very terrified for those flights that air traffic controller would be right guiding in or guiding out, whatever. All right, here's Lajoie, nothing for one. Dennis Leonard has a strikeout and a walk through 2 1/3. Leonard with a 3-1 delivery now to the immortal Lajoie. Lajoie held up. Oh, that was such a close pitch. So ball 4, fastball just missing. Dennis Leonard wanting that call. Second free pass given up by him. Lajoie at first, and here's Manny Ramirez. Ramirez walked against Dennis Leonard. The 2-2 pitch to Manny. Swing and a miss. So Dennis Leonard gets him with the slider, 80 miles per hour on the gun, and that brings up Albert Bell. And Bell with a 2-run shot for Cleveland back in the bottom of the first. Lajoie leads off first. Leonard checks the runner. The 2-2 pitch coming to Albert Bell. Albert Bell looks at strike 3. Oof. Nice fastball coming in there by Dennis Leonard, catching the outside corner. But the Indians pick up another run, and it is now 3-1. We go to the top of the 4th. And it will be the number 3, 4, 5 hitters for the Kansas City Royals: George Brett, Carlos Beltran, and Mike Sweeney. Brett 1 for 1 in the contest. Addie Joss winds and deals. The 2-0 coming to George Brett. Brett swings, high fly ball to center field. Ranging to his right is Larry Doby, and he will glove it for out number 1. Carlos Beltran now. Beltran nothing for 1. Joss winds and deals. The 0-2 pitch coming in. Beltran swings. This one a 2-hopper to first. And waving off, Addie Joss, is Travis Hafner, and he will take it to the bag himself for out number 2. And Mike Sweeney strides to the plate. He is nothing for 1 against Joss. Joss ready to work now. Full count coming into Mike Sweeney. Sweeney swings. This one slow dribbler grounder to short. Boudreau making the nice play on that strong peg onto first. So the Royals go good morning, good afternoon, good night. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's the Tribe 3 and the Royals 1. Due up Rocky Colavito, Travis Hafner, and Lou Boudreau here in the home half of the 4th inning here in the Gloman at Progressive Field, Jacobs Field, whatever you want to call it. Colavito, nothing for 1, steps in against Dennis Leonard. He is whiff 3 and walk 2. The 1-2 pitch, Colavito. Colavito swings. This one high pop fly on the infield. Foul territory, right-hand side, and making the play is Mike Sweeney. 1 up, 1 down for Travis Hafner. The lefty digs in. Hafner nothing for 1. Leonard peers in now as the lights come on here completely at the city by the lake, Lake Erie. Here's the pitch. And Hafner sends this out to center field. Little dunker. No, it will not. So Carlos Beltran coming in and making a play on that little potential dying quail. 2 up, 2 down here for Lou Boudreau. Nothing for 1. Leonard into his wind. The 3-2 pitch to Boudreau. And Boudreau takes inside, ball 4. Another close pitch. So the umpire not giving Dennis Leonard those marginal pitches at the corners. So Boudreau at first, 2 away, and here is John Romano. He is nothing for 1. 2 down, 3-1 Cleveland leading. Here's the 1-0 to Romano. And Romano sends this up the middle. Base hit. And going for third, and look at, they're having trouble out there at second with this ball. And how about it, Romano? They are going to score that. That's an E8. So Romano picks up a single and an error, and we'll try to see what happened out there. Is Beltran having some problems with that? Boudreau at third, Romano at second, 2 down. Let's see what happens if there's a little bit of bouncing around out there in center field. So it should have just been a routine single, and yep, this one gets past him. Got to chase it back to the wall. You get a nice little view of the uniforms and stuff like that, which I think is really, really cool. And you can see very, very closely, Carlos. You actually see the players' names in their jerseys and their numbers. So nice little touches. Nice little touches. Text Ags asking, so you can take Action PC photos and place them in the Out of the Park 24 player pick folder? Yep. Yep. I can show you that after this game. Super easy. Super easy. As it will automatically assign most of the players. Some of the ones you're going to have to go in, the editor, just pick the new player, you find it, and boom, you're set to go. But super easy. If you have these for Action PC, copy that directory over and I'll show you where to put them. So don't do anything till I show you, because if you put them in the wrong directory, they won't show up. And you also have to make sure to turn off FaceGen. I know Christopher likes FaceGen. I don't. So, all a matter of taste. All right, Ken Keltner bats with 2 down, 2 in scoring position for Cleveland. Boudreau at third, Romano at second. Dennis Leonard works out of the stretch in the 3-1 to Keltner. And Keltner swings this one. Long fly ball to right. Will this be? It will just be a big, loud out. Carlos Beltran makes the catch. That could have been serious damage, but instead the Indians just strand 2, but still maintain their 3-1 lead as we head to the top of the 5th inning here. It'll be Mayberry, Dye, and Porter due up for Kansas City. Addy Joss ready to work into his windup, and the 0-2 pitch. Mayberry frozen on that one. Curveball, beautiful hammer. Offered there by Addy Joss. 1 up, 1 down. That's the 3rd strikeout for the Cleveland Hall of Famer. Jermaine Dye, nothing for 1. Addy Joss with the 1-2 pitch to Dye. Jermaine Dye, swing and a miss. Fastball that time by Addy Joss. So mixing them up. Strikeout number 4. And here comes Darrell Porter. Darrell Porter digging in from the left side. Joss deals. Porter walked his last time up. Swings, and this one, fly ball to left, going back, and about 10 feet short of the track. Albert Bell making the grab. Kansas City goes in order once again, and we head to the bottom of the 5th inning now. It is still 3-1. The top of the order due up for the Tribe. Larry Doby, Napoleon Lajoie, and Manny Ramirez. Doby, 1 for 2, has himself a solo home run in this game. And that came in inning number 3. Dennis Leonard deals. Doby swings. This one just a sharp grounder to short. And up and over is Patek Sweeney for the 6-3. So 1 up, 1 down now. Napoleon Lajoie, nothing for 1. Leonard deals. Lajoie swings, and this one wrapped a center base hit. So Lajoie on board. Those of you who are part of the Ned McGreevy League will remember that Lajoie was an absolute beast in that league. So McGreevy is on its way back soon, and we will see Lajoie again, as he's on that 1908 Cleveland Naps team. So McGreevy's going to be done a little differently this time. We're not using the baseball history collection for it. We just got to add in a couple more teams, and McGreevy will be back. Probably after Shanks starts rolling, we'll start up McGreevy again. All right, Dennis Leonard now will twirl it into Manny Ramirez, who is nothing for one. Count even at 2-2 and Ramirez. Ramirez swings, and this one hit between third and short. Line drive, base hit. So Ramirez single advances Lajoie to second. No real speed there in Ramirez, and Lajoie not exactly burning up the base paths here either. Here's Albert Bell. 1 for 2. Big 2-run homer for him back in the bottom of the first. Dennis Leonard, who has struck out 3, deals the 1-2. And Albert Bell will look at a called strike 3. This slider in at the knees. All right, 2 away for Rocco Colavito, nothing for 2. Colavito swings. This one a high fly ball deep to center field and at the track. And making the grab is Carlos Beltran. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 2 left on. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Cleveland 3. And the Kansas City Royals 1. Freddie Patek, Willie Wilson, and Frank Waite due up for the Kansas City 9. One of the nice things, too, about Out of the Park Baseball with Christopher Slovic in here is that you can customize. So all these widgets around here, you can customize to show as much or as little information as you want. I know Christopher likes to play sort of right down behind like the batter and the catcher, and you get that view, and he has like the full kind of stat view for the players and everything like that. There's so many ways to customize, much more than Action PC Baseball, and Action PC Baseball a lot. But what's nice about this is I can just move that and leave it there if I want it, which is not that I would, but pretty nice. And you can go down here, click, see each team's bullpen, whatever. A lot of great things with Action PC Baseball, or with Out of Park Baseball. All right, Kansas City, let's move down here and be a little bit more in line. There we go. All right, here is Freddie Patek. Addy Joss deals. Here's the 3-1 to Patek, who sacrificed his last time up. And Patek looks at ball 4. So the fastball missing by Joss. Again, this one off the corner. This umpire not giving way for either pitcher. So definitely a hitter's ump. The speedy Patek is aboard, and here's Willie Wilson. This is a pretty good hit and run tandem if the Royals want to try to get aggressive here. Addy Joss shaking off John Romano, has a sign he likes. One more glance over at Patek. Here's the pitch. Patek off to the races and up with it, and a nice throw down by John Romano, and he guns down Freddie Patek. So Romano 3 for 7 and gunning down runners thus far in the season. So bases empty, 1 down. Willie Wilson, the lefty, back in the box. Full count on Wilson. Wilson taken outside, ball 4, and that one again a close pitch, very, very close pitch. So that's the 3rd free pass given up by Addy Joss, and the speedy Willie Wilson aboard with 1 down. The tying run comes to the plate now, and Frank Waite, who's nothing for 2. Joss deals the 1-2 pitch to Waite. Waite swings. This one just a fly out to medium deep left field, and Albert Bell, calling off Larry Doby, makes the catch. Willie Wilson gets back to first. 2 down, and here is George Brett. George Brett 1 for 2. Romano sets the target. Joss with the 3-2 delivery to George. Brett swings. This one a sinking liner to center field, and we get down for a base hit. And moving to third is Willie Wilson on the play. So runners at the corners for the Kansas City Royals. 2 down here in the top of the 6th inning, and striding to the plate is Carlos Beltran. Beltran, nothing for 2. Retrieved a couple of deep fly balls in center, but nothing terribly spectacular. Up here, by the way, you can see too, and this is thanks to Christopher Slovic, and I'll drag this over just so you can see it. You can look at pitch locations for the previous hitter, which is really, really, really cool. And you can also, if you click that little plus sign, you can see the count, the type of pitch, what it was on the gun, all kinds of fun stuff. So, yeah, come on, you. Boop. Ah, back to game action. This thing is being so weird. Come back up here. Yeah, wow, man. Okay. So, are we stuck with this now? Okay, so Chris, why am I running into this weirdness here? I gotta quit moving widgets around here is what I gotta do. Because every time I click on this, it's going back to this. So this kind of sucks, doesn't it? Every once in a while, this is a little glitchy thing. There we go. Let's move it back up here, and we'll just leave it up there. Grr, because I want that to go away. There it is. There we go. I fixed it. Yay, me. All right. Yeah, I usually left-click and drag, but thank you for that that tip, Texags. See that? How we learn from each other. 2 down, runners at the corners. Beltran, the 2-2 pitch. Beltran swings, and this one, high fly ball to right field, but we'll call it a routine high fly ball to right field. Colavito snags it for the out. And the Royals leave 2. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Cleveland still holding on to a 3-run lead. Kansas City's lone run in the top of the 3rd. Cleveland scored 2 in the 1st and 1 in the 3rd. Travis Hafner, Lou Boudreau, and John Romano. Dennis Leonard has fanned 4, struck out 3 through 5. The 0-2 pitch to Hafner. Hafner, big swing and a miss. Fastball, 93 on the gun. So 1 up, 1 down, and here is shortstop Lou Boudreau. Nothing for 1. Dennis Leonard to let it go to Boudreau. And Boudreau sends this gapper into right, and this will get down for a base hit. Boudreau is going for 2, and he's going to make it easy as the ball hits the cutoff man. So 1 out double for the Tribe, and here comes John Romano, who is 1 for 2. So Cleveland wanting to bust it open here, just 1 away. Dennis Leonard deals the 2-1 pitch to Romano. Romano swings, and line drive base hit right field. We'll see if this is going to be deep enough. Note, they will hold Boudreau at 3rd. So runners at the corners for the Tribe. Potential double play situation as Ken Keltner steps in, nothing for 2. Romano, no speed at first. Dennis Leonard working out of the stretch in the 0-1. And this one, sorry, got a little bit, somebody trying to call there. Oh, well. Anyhow, so Freddie Patek making the catch. So 2 down, runners remain at the corners. Baseball way more important than phone calls right now. And that's all I'm going to say. Oh, Marone Manaj, Mamma Mia. Come on, stop. Hey. All right. Here we go. Larry Doby. It's rare when I channel the inner Italian, but there you are. All right. Oh, Marone, stop. Hang on a second, man. I'm muting this. I'm muting this son of a bitch because I'm tired of it. Whatever it is, it cannot be. There we go. Now we're fine. All right. Back to it. How embarrassing. There you go. Leonard out of the stretch in the 2-1 to Larry Doby. And Doby scorches this one to right field. Line drive. They're going for a base hit. And Doby will pick up the base hit as Lou Boudreau comes in to score. So Doby with the RBI double. And Cleveland increasing its lead here in the bottom of the 6th. It's 4-1. Calling on you, calling on you, calling on you. Booty calls. S. B. Oh my God, you guys. Yikes. Oh, man. So, yeah, calling you a Striper song. Yeah. No comment, gentlemen. No comment at all. All right. I don't even know. What is it? 11:34? My goodness gracious. No, this is baseball time. We don't need no booty when we're playing baseball. All right, here is Napoleon Lajoie, 1 for 2. Romano at second, Doby at first. Here's the pitch to Lajoie. Lajoie swings and scorches this one to center field, and this will get down and go all the way to the wall. So at least 2 runs should score on the Lajoie double. No, all being held at third. They're going to hold Larry Doby at third, but another run in. So Cleveland plating 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. It's now 5-1. Try breaking it open here. 2 down, Lajoie at second, Doby at third for Manny Ramirez, 1 for 2. And Greg Holland will come in now to pitch for the Kansas City Royals. And I know I do this on almost every out-of-the-park game, and I will because we still get new people to it. So I click on Greg Holland, right, so I can get what he's done so far this year. I can also go to his real-life stats, look at them up to the season, what have you, his history. But here's his BNN page. And for all your players and all your pitchers, right, position players and pitchers, it will show what they've done in each game, and you can actually go back, look at those game logs, see what they've done this week, last week, April career. For hitters, it's going to be count situations, base hits with 3-2, what have you. Really deep and instant right there. All right, back to game action. So don't fool yourself. Also, I keep forgetting to show this, but Out of the Park Baseball has, and I forget where the command is, but in Out of the Park Baseball, if you're doing a season replay and you're not, even if you're doing some sort of, right, it's like Dave Gardner says, as soon as you roll the dice or whatever, it's a what if. This will actually track how accurate your replay is compared to the season that you're doing. If you're doing a straight up season replay and you have everything set correctly, so that means manager profiles everything, is this doesn't set them automatically. And go in at the Out of Park forums and you will see users who have posted screenshots of that. I just can't remember where to find that. Maybe Christopher knows, I'm not sure. All right, 2 in scoring position anyhow for the Indians as Greg Holland, let's look at his numbers in the season. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits surrendered, 1 earned run, 6 walks, 6 strikeouts, an ERA of 1.50. Pretty good velocity for Greg Holland. Pretty good stuff. Good movement. Control, as we say in Italian, mezza mezz. 3-0 delivery to Ramirez. We talked about control. Ramirez takes ball 4, and Greg Holland comes in on relief of Dennis Leonard, and the first batter he faces walks him. Dangerous situation now. Albert Bell, already with a 2-run shot in this game, strides to the plate, and the Tribe has the bases sold out. Doby at third, Lajoie at second, Ramirez at first. Swing of the bat here, and I think Albert puts it out of reach. Holland rubbing up the ball, and even though it's a chilly night here in Cleveland, wiping some sweat from his brow. He's shaking off Darrell Porter. Looks like he has one he likes. Sets, and from the stretch, the full count to Bell. And Bell swings, could get out of this inning. Weak little chopper to second base, and that is it. Bell is out on the 4-3, but 8-men bat for the Tribe. 2 come in to score. We go to the top of the 7th. The Cleveland Indians 5 and the Kansas City Royals 1. Addy Joss will stay in there. He's worked 6 full, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Todd B says, I'm a little drunk and oh my God. All right. So Carlos Yaz now saying got his first historical game done. He said this is going to be fun. So what are you doing? What season are you doing, Carlos? Inquiring minds want to know. All right, here is Mike Sweeney. Sweeney nothing for 2. John Mayberry waits on deck. Addy Joss. In the all-time greats league, we can certainly talk about it. Joss up to 100 pitches, so don't know if we'll see Addy much longer after this inning. But with a 4-run lead, who knows? Pitch to Sweeney. Sweeney swings. High pop fly in the infield, ranging out and then back in on the infield dirt from the grass, trying to measure it up is Napoleon Lajoie, and he makes the catch. One down. So let's see. We do still have some winds coming in from right at 11 miles per hour. And this game actually really will show you ballpark effects. We did a game 3 or 4 days ago in Out of the Park Baseball, and there was a strong crosswind from left to right, and the ball's going off and going off toward right field. I mean, there's this big curve. I mean, really carrying the ball. So real nice. All right, here's John Mayberry, 0-for-2. Addie Joss with the 1-2 pitch. Mayberry struck out his last time up, and this time just a little one-hopper to first, and fielding it is Travis Hafner, and he'll do the underhand toss to Addie Joss covering for the 3-1 put-up. 2 up, 2 down now for Jermaine Dye, who's 0-for-2. Addie Joss winds, and the 2-1 delivery to Dye. Cut on, and this one a sinking liner to center field. This will get down for a base hit. So Jermaine Dye picking up the 4th base hit here for the Kansas City Royals as Doby plays it on the hop. And here comes Darrell Porter, 0-for-1. Jose Mesa is now in the ball game. I'm not surprised. So Addie Joss is done. And baseball fans do not need an introduction for Jose Mesa. He's finished his warm-up pitches. 7 strikeouts thus far in this season. Mesa with a 3-1 delivery to Porter. Porter swings, and this one, a little seeing-eye single past second. And Kansas City picking up hit number 5, and getting into third is Jermaine Dye. So Kansas City trying to do some thunder and lightning here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Freddie Patek stands in now. Patek, the sacrifice and a walk, and laces a base hit into right field, and that's going to be an RBI for the shortstop, the very short shortstop. So Patek picks up the RBI single, and the Kansas City Royals inch closer. It is 5-2. Patek at first, Porter at third, 2 away for Willie Wilson. Willie 1-for-2 with a run batted in. Mesa out of the stretch. Here's the pitch. Wilson swings, line drive, and right into the glove. We got to look at that one again. That was a great play, because that line drive would have been trouble. All right, 7th inning stretch time, guys. So do some singing. I'll be right back with you. All right, so Carlos, he's played a game with historical teams to fill your way around. Super deep game, Carlos. Have fun with it. As World's Worst Gamer with the Canadian flair singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." We should have him sing it in French some night as well. I don't know if he's a Quebecois, though. So Bernie says his little guys can hit. All right, Greg Holland stays on in relief now for the Kansas City Royals, and he will face Rocky Colavito, Travis Hafner, and Lou Boudreau. Holland deals. Here's the full count to Colavito. Colavito looks at called strike 3, so he is 0-for-4. So Rocky will head back to the bench and consider the vagaries of right field and going hitless at the same time. Travis Hafner wearing the collar, 0-for-3. Holland has a strikeout and a walk. Full count coming to Travis Hafner now. Hafner takes outside, so the umpire remaining consistent. That one close. A little tiny bit low and outside, but again, close pitch. Holland not getting the call. Hafner aboard for Lou Boudreau, who is 1-for-2. Hafner no speed at first. Holland with the delivery. And this one swung on and stroked to left. Base hit for Lou Boudreau. So the Indians now in double digits in hits at number 10. And here comes John Romano. John Romano has 2 of the 10 Cleveland hits, so he's 2-for-3. Hafner at second, Boudreau at first, one down. Greg Holland looking for the double play ball here, the 2-1 to Romano. And Romano, this is not going to be a double play ball. High fly ball to left center, and this one is gone. Wow. I was watching the shadow and then realized big high arcing shot, and it is gone. And the Cleveland Indians have busted it open with a 3-run bomb by John Romano, 389 feet, and it's 8-2 Tribe. Second blowout I've had on the channel today out of 4 games. Oh, well, that's all right. Todd's happy. His Tribe is doing it up. Look at this, man. High arcing shot. Exit velocity, 98 miles an hour on this one. And down into the runway there. All right, little light show going on here. And, well, goodbye, Greg Holland. So in comes Mark. I'm going to say, is it Little or Littell? Modern baseball fans, how the hell do I say his name? All right. Oh, and look at this. The thing I love about Out of the Park. The shift still exists. Yay. Of course, it's an outfield shift, but still. All right. So anyhow, I'm going to say Littell because Little just sounds too pedestrian to me. 1 win, no losses. 7 1/3 pitched. He's walked 2, struck out 3, an ERA of 0. Ground ball pitcher. And Ken Keltner now in there. I like Ken Keltner. One of my favorite Cleveland Indians. Would like to see him do something, but nothing for 3. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So if Clinton says I'm correct, we are going to be... I am happy. All right, Littell deals. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Kenny Keltner. Keltner swings. This one, a little too hopper to third. Strong peg across the diamond to George Brett to Mike Sweeney for the 5-3 put out. 2 up, 2 down. Back at the top of the order for the great Larry Doby. 2-2 pitch from Littell to Doby. Doby tried to hold up, but gets the call. Strike 3. But 3 big runs for Cleveland. 2 hits, no errors, nobody left on. It's 8-2. We're going to go ahead and play it out, though. Frank White, George Brett, and Carlos Beltran due up. Bernard Strom said, you all know that Lou Boudreau's son-in-law is Danny McLean. I've just learned that, Bernie, but that was recently. Just call him Country or Ramrod, as those are his nicknames. At the last one, oh my God. All right, Mesa deals. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Frank White. Flied out his last time up. White high pop fly in the infield. This one twisting foul on the third base side. And making the catch by the coach's box is Ken Keltner. So these games need to have first and third base coaches, and damn it, you got to have umpires. No umpires in the field. I mean, even old-time baseball has umpires. Come on. All right, Jose Mesa deals. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Brett. He has 2 singles in the game, and this one just a little roller to short. Boudreau fields it easily on to Travis Hafner. 2 away now for the cleanup hitter, Carlos Beltran. 0 for 3. Jose Mesa with the 0-2 delivery to Beltran. Fly to right his last time up, and a knee buckler in there. That fastball for called strike 3. The Royals go in order. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Cleveland 8, Kansas City 2. It'll be Lajoie, Ramirez, and Bell. Littell deals. Last time up, run scoring double for Lajoie. This time he's going to dump one into right for a base hit. So 1 aboard for Cleveland, and that is hit number 12. Here's Manny. 1 for 2. 1-2 pitch coming into Ramirez. Ramirez swings. This one could be a 2-ball, and indeed it is. 5-4-3 double play. So George Brett to Frank White to Mike Sweeney. So 2 outs. Now bases empty for Albert Bell. Bell 1 for 4. Littell deals. Bell cuts in his first pitch. Liner to right. And back on it toward the track, and making the catch is Jermaine Dye. So Cleveland does nothing, and we go to the 9th. And Well, a lot of work to do here for these Kansas City Royals. And with the 5, 6, 7 hitters due up, Jose Mesa will stay on. He's worked an inning and a third with a strikeout. It'll be Sweeney, Mayberry, and Jermaine Dye. Jose Mesa deals to Mike Sweeney. And Sweeney, high fly ball to center field. This one back. And this one is out of here. Sweeney goes yard for Kansas City. It's his second home run. And that one, I mean, he killed that ball 434 feet. And the Indians, though still leading by 5, but not a lot of glory here for the Royals. Let's have a look at this shot. So 111.9 off the bat is the exit velocity. And, I mean, clearing that deep wall out there. All right. So 8-3 is Kansas City going to make it a ball game. Still 5 runs down. John Mayberry. Hey, there's John DFW. As Todd B says that Mike Sweeney always killed Cleveland. Wow, World's Worst Gamer said that he met Denny McLain once. That is so cool. In London, Ontario, London Tigers AA baseball game. Very, very cool. Oh, how do you replay that homer, Carlos? Yep. So what you do is you go up to options. You have 2 ways you can do it. You can do straight replay, play-by-play, and it will just show the home run as we saw it. But the fun one, of course, is the Super Stats replay. I'll show you another little trick it has, too. And it'll just follow the ball all the way out. Now there's Todd out there having a beer beyond that little garden. Another thing is you can do, Carlos. Now, it's usually on by default. I like to turn it off because it's a little bit seasick-inducing. But it's okay. We have John Mayberry up here. If I hit the F8 key, it's going to show his hit tendencies. So most likely going to hit it towards second, and then you can just hit F8 to turn it off. If I also bring up John Mayberry here, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It is somewhere in here that will actually show. Is it his? Where is it? Where's the damn? There it is. There's a spray chart. So check this out, man. This is super cool, right? So during your any season replay or whatever you're doing, for every batter, this game will track what the batter did, where he hit it. There's the legend over there, and all you have to do is click. So right here we see that orange, right, is a little fly out, and then you get the whole notation that you need and the escape velocity on the ball. So this was a little fly out to shallow left, so the shortstop got it. Escape velocity is 55 miles per hour. Out here, there was a home run. So there you go. Again, just really nice. And this will track for the whole season. And, of course, as you can see from when we did the little F8 thing, you can see that a lot of what Mayberry is going more towards second. So getting pretty damn sophisticated here. All right, back to the game. The 1-2 pitch to John Mayberry. He's 0 for 3. Mayberry swings, and this one just a weak pop up on the infield on the third base side, and Kenny Keltner calls for it and makes the catch. So 1 down here for Jermaine Dye. Jermaine is 1 for 3. Jose with the 1-2 pitch. Dye swing and a miss. So 93 in the gun by Mesa. That'll be 2 down. And here is Darrell Porter, last chance for the Kansas City Royals. He is 1 for 2 in the game. Mesa looking for just to end the game at this point. And this should do it. No, it will not. So little line drive into right field. Base hit. So Darrell Porter picks up number 8 for Kansas City, and here comes Freddie Patek. He is 1 for 1 with a run batted in. The 1-1 to Patek. And he swings, grounder to short. This should be your ball game. And Boudreau will go to second for the out. And that does it. Let's look at our game recap. One of the other things I really, really love about Out of the Park are these game recap, which is fully editable, by the way. Romano stars an 8-3 Indians win. The Cleveland Indians stopped the Kansas City Royals 8-3 at Progressive Field. The Indians got a big game from John Romano, who went 3 for 4 with a home run and 2 singles. He scored 2 times and drove in 3. Cleveland now is 15-5 in the league. Is setting the league on fire so far. The Indians got a big bat from left fielder Albert Bell for the game. Bell went 1 for 5 with a home run, drove in 2 runs, and scored once. In the bottom of the first, with a runner on first, he struck a 2-run home run. This is 5th of the season, which gave Cleveland a 2-0 lead at that point, which Cleveland never relinquished. So, not a lot to talk about in this game. John Romano getting player of the game. The line for the Cleveland Indians, who improved to 15-5 in this league. 8 runs, 12 hits, no errors. The Kansas City Royals, who fall to 9-10, 3 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. We'll just jump out of here. Whew. Steve Tate joining us here at as we leave Progressive/Jacobs Field, whatever you want to call it. Welcome in, Steve. He says 3 teams left to finish tomorrow as far as photos, and then a double check to ensure that you have decent park images for the Shanks League, which I guess will be starting this weekend. Yes, you can edit the recap. Wonder what ChatGPT could do with it. We'll try that some night. Yep, completely. Again, you can also create players in this. We're going to go ahead and just play out the rest of these games for this day. Even though there's a nice matchup here with Dave McNally for the Orioles and John Lester for the Orioles. The Orioles 3-14 and the Red Sox 11-8. So let's start at the toppermost of the poppermost. Cincinnati Reds, Pittsburgh Pirates, Wilbur Cooper versus Jim Maloney. Let's quick play this one. Pittsburgh Pirates take this one from the Cincinnati Reds 9-3. Wilbur Cooper gets the win, Maloney with the loss. The player of the game, Max Carey. Home runs, Eric Davis for Cincinnati and Dave Parker for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And the Pirates went absolutely nutso crazy bananas, scoring 8 runs in the first inning. Holy moly. Wow, wow, wow. We're not going to look at any replays or anything, but I'd like to see the game log for this one. So here we are, bottom of the... Good God, the Bucks get busy. So, Wagner singles, Steele second, Stargell draws the walk, and then, let's see, Willie Stargell, yep, so had him loaded. Arky Vaughn, oh my God, what a crazy inning. Look at this, man. So the Bucks bat around in the first against the Reds. All right. Anyhow, let's go back. All right. Los Angeles Angels, Washington Nationals. Another nice thing here, you can just hover over any of these teams and just get a quick little recap of what they're doing. Where do they rank right now? So if we look at my Buccos, for instance, they're 13th in runs right now in the league, 24th in average, 27th in homers, but sporting a pretty nice 15-7 record. So the pitching kind of, pitching kind of doing it for us. Yeah, man, we're getting it done. All right. Anyhow, Angels Nationals. This is Dean Chance and Pascual Perez. And this one belongs to the Washington Nationals, a 9-1 blowout of the Angels. So the Nationals will improve to 7-13, and the Angels fall to 10-9. Vladimir Guerrero picking up a home run for the Washington Nationals. Dean Chance takes the loss in that one. Pascual Perez picks up the win, and player of the game, Andre Dawson, in that one. If you guys want to do, like if you're playing this game, you want to do highlight reels, you want to watch the whole game, make sure you have that enabled when you set up your league, and you can actually go back and watch games. You can even go back to the beginning of the season, watch games, highlight reels, whatever you want. Another great feature of this game. All right, Miami Marlins and the Atlanta Braves. This is going to be Dontrelle Willis against Dick Rudolph. The Marlins are 8-11. The Braves are 10-9. And it's the Atlanta Braves edging the Miami Marlins 10-9. And passel of home runs here. Jeff Conine, Mike Lowell, home runs for Miami, and Dale Murphy and Hank Aaron homering for the Braves. Craig Kimball gets the win. Greg gets the loss. Player of the game is Andrew Jones. All right, moving down now. The Diamondbacks and the Cubs. I probably should just play this one to get more used to the Diamondbacks for the damn Shanks League, but a little late now. All right. So Arizona is 10-11, and the Cubs are 4-13. The Diamondbacks sending Miguel Batista to the mound to face Carlos Zambrano, and the Cubs take this one from the Diamondbacks, 4-3 home runs. For Arizona, it's going to be Bay and Upton, and for Chicago, Ryan Sandberg. Marmol gets the win for the Cubs. Valverde takes the loss. Carlos Zambrano, player of the game. Padres and Brewers. Jake Peavy against, my God, Yvonne Gallardo. My eyes are getting bzzzt. Padres shut out the Brewers 5-0. Tony Gwynn picked up a home run for the Padres. Peavy gets the win. Gallardo gets the loss. All right. San Francisco Giants, Colorado Rockies. Christy Mathewson against Ubaldo Jimenez. And the Giants win 16-9. So a little slugfest out there in Colorado. 31 hits in that game, 25 runs. Christy Mathewson picking up the win. Jimenez takes the loss. Travis Jackson, a player we don't talk a lot about on this channel, but deserves more. Player of the game for the Giants. Home runs, Mel Ott, Stretch McCovey, Travis Jackson, Hart, Cepeda. That's just for the Giants. And then Gonzalez and Todd Helton for the Colorado Rockies. Next, Phillies, Dodgers, Cole Hamels, Clayton Kershaw. Philadelphia Phillies defeat the LA Dodgers 11-5. Home runs, all on the Dodgers side, Roy Campanella and Babe Herman. All right, Orioles, Red Sox. This is McNally and John Lester. Can the Baltimore Orioles pick up their fourth win? They can, 8-1. Brooks Robinson getting a home run for Baltimore in that one. McNally gets the win. Lester takes the loss. Brooks Robinson, player of the game in that one. White Sox, Tigers. Red Faber versus Hal Newhouser. Tigers take this one 5-3. Home runs, Norm Cash and Hank Greenberg. Newhouser gets the win. Faber takes the loss. Mickey Lolich picks up the save. Greenberg, player of the game in that one. Texas Rangers, Oakland Athletics. This is Dick Bosman versus Tim Hudson. 7-6 your score in that one. The Rangers edging the Athletics. Home runs, Rafael Palmeiro and Steve Buechele for the Texas Rangers. Suka gets the win. Bailey takes the loss. Cordero picking up the save. Palmeiro, player of the game. And the final game of today, Astros and Mariners. This is Ray Oswalt and Randy Johnson. And it's the Astros 5, the Mariners 4. Home runs, Berkman, Davis, and Thon for Houston, and Omar Vizquel, Phelps for the Seattle Mariners. Let's finish today, and we'll look at the standings, and then we'll close it up. So good slate of games. Just looking at some of the things. Johnny Cueto going to be pitching for the Reds next against Jess Tannehill. I always like to look for kind of great matchups. Here's Josh Beckett, Greg Maddux. That could be a lot of fun. I think the next one I'm going to do on here, though, when we come back to Out of the Park and this particular league, it's a good game because both of these two have good win-loss records. Cardinals Mets, John Tudor against Dwight Gooden. The Cardinals at 14-6 and the Mets at 11-8. Tudor 1-0 in the season thus far. Gooden 1-3, but both of them pretty decent ERAs, so looking for that. Anyhow, let's look at the standings, guys, and then I'll show Carlos if he's in here. A couple more quick things, and then we'll get the hell out of here. All right, in the American League East, the usual suspects. So the New York Yankees with a 5-game lead over the Boston Red Sox and Tampa Bay Rays. The Yanks 15-3, or they are 9-1 in their last 10. A 7-game winning streak for the New York Yankees. So the Red Sox picking up a little bit with 6-4 in their last 10. Tampa Bay 3-7, and then everybody else under 500. In the American League Central, the Cleveland Indians with a comfortable 5-game lead over the Detroit Tigers, and then Kansas City now dropping below 500 at 5.5 back. The American League West, it's the Texas Rangers, just a 2-game lead over the Astros. The Astros a half game up on the third place LA Angels, and then the Mariners 3-back playing some 500 ball. All right, in the National League East, the Mets now with that loss tonight, they find themselves just a half game up on the Atlanta Braves. So the Mets at 11-8, the Braves 11-9, and then everybody else in the National League East below 500. But kind of a tight race there. I mean, so the Nationals in last place, and they're just 4.5 out. In the National League Central, the Cardinals a game in front of the Pittsburgh Pirates right now. Cardinals are 7-3 in their last 10. The Pirates 6-4. The Brewers in third place, they're at 10-10, and then the other two teams below 500. Finally, the National League West, it's the Colorado Rockies, just a half game up on the Dodgers. And then the Giants playing 500 ball, 2.5 back. So again, this one another tight race in the National League West. The Padres just 3.5 out. So, and you can do all the wild card stuff here by sub-league, expanded standings, which is really, really, really fun to do if you want to look at those. All right. All right. TexAg says, can you show me how to place player images at Adel Park Baseball and how to turn off FaceGen? No worries. No, I don't need to go. Hell no. Hell to the no, my brother. My brother. All right. So let's do this. We're going to go to File Explorer in Windows. All right. And I think I have this on my D drive. All right. So let's go to D and Program Files, x86, Steam, right? And Steam Apps, Common. And then just scroll down to find Adel Park 24. Data. Now, what's really, really important here so that you don't get messed up is there are two things, photos and pictures. You want photos, okay? Not pictures. Just, I don't even remember what is in pictures. So what you do is you copy all your stuff from DK Sports Photos, I believe it is, and put them right here, and there they are. So there's something like, and this one I guess is a little bit out of date. There's only, what? I don't know. Don't have everybody in here. But that's it. And you'll see here that it uses, you have different naming conventions that you can use in Adel Park Baseball or in Action PC Baseball. Just use the sort of kind of first name dash last name. And you have those, whatever format you have them in. Copy them from Action PC right into Adel Park Baseball. Now, to turn off FaceGen, there's a couple ways you can really, really do that. And I just like to do this with, when I start a league, okay? So, player FaceGen pictures, you can do none if you want, okay? On demand. But what you really, really, really want to do is set... where do we want to disable this? So we go to this, so you can just go none, right? But what I do is I usually set it up at the beginning of the league, so I'll show you how to do that. Let's just do that instead, okay? Because really, really hate FaceGen. So let's install a season. Doesn't matter which one. All right. Best way to do it. Yep, first name underscore last name. Exactly. You got it, TexAgs. And and if you have the out of the park photos, you have them in that file format, so you're fine. Okay, let's do just a historical game. And that's what you go to for season replays. All right. Somebody toss out a season. I don't give a damn, as long as it's not 21st century. Of course, in out of the park baseball, you can go all the way back to 1871 to now, so which is really really nice. Texag says 1919, so there was chatter in Robert's chat tonight about 1919. So let's do this. We go to dead ball, select it, select 1919, and you get a really nice recap. All right. You can import Real Negro Leagues. Obviously, this is before, but since you do have minor leagues here, 1915 plus, I would suggest you do select that. Now, this is kind of fun. If you wanted to play a game in the dead ball era, you pick a year. You can actually use random players from all eras, but it will normalize back to the dead ball era. So pretty much fun. So over here, you can opt, and I am getting to the face gen thing, guys. So you can optimize for single season replay or career play. I usually just leave all this stuff alone, but you want to have fun. There's a couple different databases in out of the park baseball. There's not just one. Okay. Import real lefty righty splits if you have them. All that kind of stuff. Let's go to next. And this is loading up all kinds of stuff, so I'll take a slug of water. So you have to give it just a little bit of time. Well, actually, World's Worst Gamer, you can do, and you know this, you can actually play in the future. I've seen people start their franchises in like 2025, and of course, it's going to bring in fictional players, but yeah, you can do it. So Steve Tate says that Todd did win the division once in as many auto sims. Oh my God, that hurts. You probably won more than I did. Okay, what I would suggest, this says, so not recommended because historical minor leagues were enabled. Okay, so I'm not going to use that, but we can use real lineups. I'm just going to, it just is not recommended, so probably for later years, okay? Do I want to require full minor league rosters? Yes, I do. Do I want to block fictional players? Yes, I do. Okay, click next step. We're getting near the face gen stuff. Okay, now for this one, I don't know if Mike was in here, he would tell me, but let me close off, turn off financial settings, never do this. Okay, when you're using, and I don't want an expansion draft either, when you're using the Stadium mod, always make sure to do automatically expand league. Don't know why, I just know that you used to always have to do that. I don't know if that's changed, but just make sure you have this set. Since you're just doing a single replay, you want to disable player development. If you're doing career, then you can pick this stuff. Okay, next step. All right, use scouting, that's up to you. Rating scale, once again, I use 1 to 100. This defaults to the 2080 used in baseball. I don't understand it, don't like it. Here it is. Player pictures, no fictional pictures. Coach pictures, no fictional pictures. This face gen color mode doesn't matter. You can leave it normal. But face gen is turned off. Click on next step. New game. 1919. Sox replay. Whatever. Sox and Reds, whatever. You can put up your name, your ethnicity if you want. So I'm always Irish in this game because I am. So Carlos, what I would say is don't mess around with the trading mode in this. I just wouldn't at all for now. Also, important newbies to out of the park baseball. Don't play as GM and manager. You don't have to play as a GM in this game at all. Just select manager. The reason being is there's a weird thing that's been happening in Out of the Park in the last couple iterations. So you'll get a message, for instance, as a general manager, and it will say, "Oh, well, so and so either needs to be released or put on waivers or assigned." Well, it doesn't say so and so; it just says a player, right? So it'll say, "Click here to go to deal with the situation," and you have no idea who the player is. So make sure you're playing as manager. I would also say play in commissioner mode. This lets you act and do things with other teams if you want. And I don't know. I like to cheat and say cannot be fired. But if you leave it unchecked, you can be fired if you don't meet your owner's goals. But definitely play in commissioner mode and play as a manager, not general manager. Next step. And everything is getting ready to rock now. So it's assigning logos and pictures. And as you'll see, it will do most of them correctly. Some of them it'll be weird, like if we were doing a 19th century season, it's going to get Billy Hamilton wrong. All right. Since I'm doing the White Sox in 1917 on, and I'm calling it a Sox replay, but who the hell cares? I'm going to go ahead and manage the Cincinnati Reds, but I can manage anybody I want. Start game. You don't have to worry about using advanced mode when you're just doing season replays. It's really more of a pain in the ass than it's worth. Here we are, Cincinnati Reds. This has the, believe it or not, this is actually the proper logo for the Reds, okay, and are up here, okay. You're curious about the ballpark. Did it do it right? Of course it did. I'll show you. Go to Team, Home Screen, go to Settings, go to Edit Ballpark, and as soon as you see this, so this is like the PRK file for park effects, things like that, and you don't have to ever touch this unless you really want to. This will tell you that it loaded the 3D model correctly, Redland Field, load 3D model, and then here is where you can set everything up. So moving your mouse around, I would probably like something like that, maybe zoom it in a little bit. And then just scroll down over here. And you can copy cameras from all different parks. You don't have to do this for each park if you don't want to. But then, and again, you can look at it at night, what's going to look like in the evening. Not that it really matters because you're going to be doing all day games here anyhow. So there's Redland Field. And then you can have it create aisles if you want. But then down here, after you get the camera where you like it, what I like to do here then is actually just save this camera to where it is. So the current view is overview. I will save that and then just update current. Okay. And then you can move stuff around, camera angles. You want to set up a camera from the right field roof, you can do it. Home plate TV, pitcher batter, whatever. Go nuts. 70s behind home plate TV. Have a blast with it. Okay, so that's it. That's how you do it. Now let's go back to the home screen and let's look at lineups. And all I have to do is, you can see here, I'm just mousing over. It has correctly assigned the pictures. If you have them, there they are. Okay, that's it. Oh, yeah, you can. Here, let's go nuts. Let's go nuts with the field for a minute, just because. We won't get anybody seasick, I promise. And again, this is also like having a baseball encyclopedia. Right here, you can create your own baseball cards, of course. Go to his real-life stats, and there we go. So Maury Rath apparently was done in 1920. There is his... Right? This is like just having total baseball or baseball reference right here, which I love. I really, really, really love this. Now, you guys are probably gonna say, "Well, geez, what if it assigns the wrong picture?" Well, this is where you go to it. So player picture, you go. So let's say there was another dude named Maury Rath that played in the 1980s, and you had the wrong Maury Rath, because it does this with Billy Hamilton. It always does the modern day Billy Hamilton, not the Hall of Fame Billy Hamilton. So what you would do is go to picture functions, and then you would just do import photo file, and then you would see these whole list of pictures. Now this only goes up there. It's showing here, right, that it's more than 1,000 files. So then what you do with this is you just click filter and you just type in the player's name and then import it that way. Okay, so that's how you change, and you can edit. So you know how Steve Tate talks about. Oh, you're very very welcome, Texags. So and Carlos, because you guys are, one of you is at least a bit newer. So as Steve talks about in Action PC, you can also do in here. You can edit stats and just all kinds of crazy things in here if you want. If you disagree with what the game's doing, go ahead and have a blast. I'm not going to here, but you can change. You can edit players. You can create players in this game. Whatever. It's just so deep. It's crazy. You can clone players, retire them, delete them altogether if you want. You can set game strategy. So, and again, you can do this from a number of different places. So just like in Action PC Baseball and Diamond Mind, you can get down to how are you going to, how's the AI going to handle each player, okay? They've added this too that you can use as a two-way player. And they've added that largely for Shohei Ohtani, but they should have probably had this in the game all the time because Babe Ruth. And Ruth and Ohtani are not the only two-way players in baseball history. You could ask the AI to set strategy at the player level, which is real nice. Okay. Now, let's get back to the Reds ballpark. Again, you access by just going to the home park, click settings, edit ballpark. Oh, first, you can go in here, and MV he has tons of fun with this. So there's your little 3D models. You can change up their uniforms. You want to do your own logos in this. You don't want to do this. Just you can generate a random logo if you want for the Reds. You can select one. You can auto load one. So this is for the logos. You can do stuff here with the ball cap, with the jersey itself, with the pants, and if you really, really want to get crazy like that. All right. All right, so we didn't do anything, so we're going to click that. Now let's go to the ballpark, and let's play around. So you set your camera angles by loading the 3D model. All right, so we have this, I believe, defaulted as our overview. So let's go to another one. What does wide low look like? As soon as I click it, there's wide low. Well, maybe I want to get really wacko, right? And that's really nice too. See, it actually gives you, look, we're hanging out with everybody here. Isn't that nice? And let's come back in the ballpark a little bit. All right, so the middle mouse button is height, right? Altitude, all right? Left mouse button is going around this axis. Mouse wheel, if you scroll it away from you, you go way out. Look, there's the ballpark. Isn't that cool? And little fun fact, these are all geo-referenced. So you can look at these in Google Earth and stuff like that. You want one down the third base side, right mouse button drags. If you want this angle for the park, you can do this, and then you can actually, you're not even stuck with the cams that are in there. So this is wide low, and if I go to save cam, I can create a new one and call this third base low, for instance. So I'll just call it third low, even though we're not at third. That's close enough, right? And then just click OK, and it's saved. So now, if I want to go back, and I always like to look at these in the daytime when I'm doing dead ball. But these are geo-referenced, which means also that fence like distances, field distances, actually do matter in this game. So this is all geo-referenced one-to-one off of Google Maps. And if you have Microsoft Flight Simulator, man, you can just have a blast and fly around, whatever. You can do the weather in this thing. Ball locations you should never ever 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 have to touch. God, this was a nightmare because you had to do these in Pure Sim baseball and in strategy baseball, and it was the worst. You want to change the weather, you can do that. Here's where you can do sounds, and you can put in some custom sounds if you want. So you create a Park Sounds folder, and then you can throw in, as Steve does in Action PC, different samples and stuff like that. Do your own walk-up music. You want to just get that nuts, go for it. Um, there's also a ballpark creator in here. So we go back to 3D model. Um, so we can actually, from here, if we wanted to, we could go, we could actually edit this park or create a park if we wanted to. We can actually also change fields for anybody that we wanted. There's just so much that you can do. And that's it. There's so much more to this. Oh my God. I've often thought about, they do have a video tutorial on doing a lot of these things in Out of the Park Baseball. But I've thought about maybe doing one for the community, starting from scratch and getting really, really kind of deep into it. Go to your park profile and look all kinds of stuff here. And yeah, there you go. You can even use different daytime and nighttime pictures and stuff like that for your diagram. Now, another tip here, and then we'll close it off. If you ever play the 1961 Yankees, edit their fourth and fifth starter and bullpens, you would be driven nuts by them. I will make sure to do that, Sean. So Texags says, so there needs to be a Maury Raft 1 and a Maury Raft 2 in order to select players from different year. Well, so that's up to you, right? Yes. So if you have, I'm trying to think of somebody here. So let's say you have Rogers Hornsby, and you have photos of Rogers Hornsby as a Cardinal and a Cub. You're going to have to know which one you want, because the game is going to default to the first Rogers Hornsby that it finds in your directory. Because you're using photos, there's no way for it to analyze the photo, at least at this point, until they start putting that kind of AI into this game. So since you're using player photos, you're going to have to manually just select that. But again, that's where you go to the player editor, and then you can. So let's say you're playing the 1929 Cubs, you can have Hornsby in there as opposed to an earlier Cardinals team or what have you. So that's easy enough to do, super easy. So like in mine, I'll go back to my directory here and show you my photo directory. Yes, I will. This time we'll go to my, just so you guys know where you get it from Action PC. If you're copying over there, just go to DK Sports Data, Baseball, and then Player Photos. So just remember, it's just from photos to photos, and there you are. So this is right. I have like, this is Brzezinski. I have no idea who this is, but the game's not going to be able to tell by that cap or whatever. So you just have to know. It's like, okay, and bring it in. Super easy. And these are all the same players that I use in Action PC. And then these subfolders, don't worry about these. This is for Steve Tate to talk about. That's pretty much it for photo assignment and state and ballpark assignment. Any questions? If you have no questions. So you really want to create your own ballpark? We'll do it soon. I want to test what happens if you have Little League dimensions in the outfield. We get 200 home runs. Good point. I have, that's a real good real good question. So let me see. So the ballpark creator in this is not as robust as I would like it to be, unfortunately, and I wish they would work more on it. But I think because of the excellent work of people like Mike Silva, this is probably very low on the priority of Out of the Park's priorities. I really don't think you're going to see them do a a lot of really big changes or anything or additions to the ballpark creator. But the ballparks that you can generate and create from it are really nice. There's just not enough. And here are your 3D models, by the way. So another important distinction. And Steve Tate says Action PC basketball is out, so maybe I should sign off so you guys can do that. Oh man, all the time, TexAgs. You are welcome. One more thing for you two guys. When you're messing with ballparks, there's two. You don't have to worry about all these file formats up here. The two that you really have to pay attention to for 3D images or 3D constructs, if it's an OBJ file, so wavefront object, you'll know that that's one of the older ballparks, one of the ones that Mike Silva did. Okay. Now that being said, let me try to find something that's kind of. I want to go up here now, so I have to go to models, and I'll show you what I mean. Crazy thing. Let's go to PNC Park, for instance, because that's going to have a different file extension. So, and the other way usually that is going to be the case is you're going to see them as sort of like kind of small print as opposed to like you see Polo Grounds here is in capital letters. Okay, so we go to PNC. All right, then so let's say that you're messing around with Pittsburgh or whatever, and you put in Three River Stadium. You're like, you know what? I want to play this at PNC Park. You want to look for this POD file. This is kind of proprietary. Okay. And then for the PRK files, every park uses a PRK file. And like I said, you'll know you have the right one when it's here. But let's say you didn't. You could go to Actions, manually import data from file into this park, and then you will actually look in this directory here for a PRK file for every park that you're looking for. And those are located. So let's say I go into Arlington Stadium, and right there would be the Arlington Stadium PRK. If I would hit that right now, it's going to bring in the park factors for Arlington, and it will also show that in here. When you know you've done it wrong or you don't have everything set up correctly is unless you're dealing with modern Philadelphia Phillies, right? Like since they moved into Citizens Bank Park. Because they've always used, if you look at Allen Park 8 and 10 and 11, Citizens Bank was like the default park, and it was the only park you could choose. But let's say you're doing 1936 Yankees, and for some reason you might have messed up, and you're looking at park factors. If it shows Citizens Bank Park, that immediately tells you need to load the park effect files for Yankee Stadium or whatever stadium it is. Somebody, Todd B says, somebody ripping on Action PC, new basketball and forum. Oh man, everybody rips that. People rip on. It's like, you know what? And especially when they're ripping on minor stuff, like really stupid stuff. It's like, look, the game just came out. Dave Cook patches the thing, his games like crazy. Even older editions. How many game companies do that? None. So yes, I saw to describe that the other night. You changed PNC to Three Rivers. Did you ever get that put back correctly? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So they said terrible upgrade. You know what? So people bitched about the Action PC baseball thing, saying, oh, it's incremental. It's really not worth the money. Man, that batter pitcher analysis is definitely just by itself worth it. So, you know, my answer, I'd be polite. I'd say, you know what? You got an excellent developer. You send Dave Cook an email. If he doesn't get to you in the same way, he's going to get to you the next day. You know, he makes improvements to the game. You've bought seasons from him. You've lost them. Somebody was talking in here. I think it was either in one of my broadcasts or one of Dwayne's that it was Dwayne, and he said a friend of his lost like everything, man, everything. And Dave Cook said, yeah, guy sent him an email. Dave Cook had everything restored for him like 24 to 48 hours. tell me Strat would do that. Tell me Apple would do that. Not going to happen. So I buy Action PC Baseball. Action PC 21, I didn't think was very good, but I bought it. I didn't play it that much. But I will always support superb developers like that. But man, that batter pitch up analysis tool and the import and export of mods, that's worth it right there. So yeah, so Dave did that for you in Action PC Basketball. The guy's a prince, man. He's great. So exactly. And here's the other thing. Talk about the trust this guy has. How many people offer a 30-day refund on a digital project? Or, right? On a digital product, I'm sorry. Digital product. How many people are going to offer that? Let's get back to the start screen. Nobody. Steam gives you 2 hours. GOG offers a refund, but they have a way to take that off your account. So we're all good guys in here, but if you think about it, Dave is really taking, putting us on the honor system, because you can say the game sucks, give me my money back, but then you can just go ahead and install it. There's no DRM, and both Sean and I hate DRM. So Steve Tate says, yeah, but he provides no teach. Oh, you're talking about the guy. Yeah. Somebody says, oh, this is theft, this is whatever. If you can at least offer an argument why you don't like the new edition of a game, I can respect that more than, this sucks, I want my money back. This really isn't much different from last year. It doesn't tell anybody anything. Help your community that you're in, right? Free seasons to anyone this week. Was that for, I don't know if it's for baseball. I didn't see that, so. But come on, with all the sales that he has, for you can buy stuff, get free seasons. You get 20% off if your order's over $100. Again, will Strat do that? Will Appa do that? Absolutely not for their digital products. They don't care. PC Replay is not going to give you a deal. Not Digital Diamond, Diamond Mine Baseball has some sort of deals, but Dave Cook, man, with the sales, with everything, what? Don't bitch, man. Just don't buy the game, as World's Worst Gamer says. Hey, Legends. He says limited exposure so far to DK Sports, but so far he's been impressed. Excellent, yeah. He's great. And again, he's saying you got a 30-day money-back guarantee on the game that has no digital rights management on it. None. And I'm glad people weren't gaming the system, if you pardon me for that. Yes, and unlike Strat, so Todd B, unlike Strat PC, he says at least you don't have to buy the new game to play the new season. And you don't. And actually, with Out of the Park, at the end of the year, there'll be a patch, and you will get the 2023 season at the end of the year in this game. So these guys, they're pretty good too. Much bigger company than DK Sports, but they've come a long way, Out of the Park Baseball. So Encyclopedia does need some work for 2024. And think about this guy, guys. So Action PC Baseball, Dave Cook is working on these things all year round. I mean, the man's a monster. Action PC Baseball is always the first one to release for the next year. So Action PC Baseball 2020 or 24 will be out in December. It usually comes out, what, Steve, about a week to 10 days before Christmas, something like that, right? So, by the time we get to Shanks 5 or Shanks 6, we'll probably be playing an Action PC 24. Yep. And you know what? Way back, he told me, they used to have, I guess in really early versions of Action PC Baseball, you could basically just create your own seasons using a kind of something that was like an encyclopedia import that Baseball for Windows has. He used to have that, and he actually was thinking about maybe doing that again, but for the prices of the seasons, I don't really see why he should have to do that. Todd says, By the time Action PC 24 comes out, you'll have won 2 or 3 World Series by then. Yeah, so hopefully I answered some questions for you guys on this beast that again is a lot of people hate, a lot of people love. There is an online manual for it. Just click, and there it is. I don't. I hate to say this, but this is not one of the best manuals. Your better bet would be to watch people who have created videos on Out of the Park. Watch videos to learn the guts of this game. That the online manual sucks. It really, really does. That the printed manual is really bad for this game. It's terrible. Yeah. Steve Tate says the new Pro Strategy F-Ball is out next month. So, comes with the Back in Black CD. Where do you set up to be able to watch replay of any game on the schedule? Ah, there you go. Yeah, bite me, Todd. Bite me, dude. Closest I'll get to F-Ball in this game. Someday, I've been promising you guys, I am going to do a Blood Bowl game. Probably Blood Bowl 2. That is the closest I'll ever get. And because I love Blood Bowl. It's awesome. Where do you do that? Okay, so let me load a game. Let's get back to this all-time greats. Boom. All right. So there's where you start getting into kind of weird things with this is you have game and you have like game settings, and then you've got a. And by the way, this is where you get to the ballpark construction kit too, if you want. I forgot to get to that, guys. I'm really sorry. So when you go to game settings, this is going to be where you're going to go through here, and this is the thing that can get really scary. This can be done in your game settings screen. If there's anything in Out of the Park that throws people off is all these crazy settings here in this game. So there's your almanac, database, and the database, as you can see, where everything is pulling from. And then here it is. It's the league settings. And you're getting down here into functions, teams, rules, financials, options, players, historical, stats, and AI. So this is where all the real guts go into it, and it's no wonder that they don't show you how to do it. Also, if you don't set it up right, the game will actually tell you just go to this and click this. So I know I'm not being much help, but I'm running out of steam here. Okay. Also, you can go to league settings from Major League and just go here, set up your rules, where you want DH or no DH, enable trading. And what's nice is you're not locked down in this game. So like in MLB The Show, for instance, once you turn, I forget, Legends would know this better, once you turn on, there's something, I think it's 3-year contracts or something, once that's locked, you can't change it, or whatever. You can always change anything you want in this game at any time. So like right here, in this all-time greats league, it's 40 players. But if I really want to do this more like a baseball season, I can set this as 20. You can go as high as 50 players in this if you want. And then for the expansion, right, September call-ups, I can make that 40 if I want. No limit on the reserve roster. I don't even know how the hell that goes up or whatever. So no limit, I suppose. So there's that. AI settings, this is more for trading. And again, lineup selection. So this is cool too. If we go to strategy, so this is nice, something that I think affects replays. If you don't do this, And you're not going to have to do this like, again, all the sliders that we're familiar with, and I showed you guys that in old time baseball. Well, it's here, it's in action, whatever. You can actually pick up strategy presets. Okay. So you can even randomize each manager if you want. You want small ball. You want traditional, balanced, modern tactician, or modern tactician. You want to go sabermetric, and you can set this up, and then you can actually just have every manager do that, or you can go in and just do what you want. Okay. So you're adjusting strategy for all innings and all outcomes, but you can go a little bit different. So over here, defensive substitutions, you can set at what innings you want for this. This is, again, a whole huge, massive craziness. As a default for an all-time greats league, I just leave this just at 50% for everything. But like if we were going to 1917, if you wanted to get real deep about it, study the managers, how did they play, or just set up your strategy for, just for instance. So I think this is set for traditional. If I want to go to small ball, so this will set the desired strategy to all times and situations. I can do that. All right. So sing. Where do I want to do this? I don't know. Let me see. So I can change this up. But for stealing bases, I want to go frequently. So again, when we go to small ball, click it. There you go. So this is going to be, look, aggressive base runner, aggressive stealing bases, frequently a hit and run, sacrifice bunts, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to set this back, though, to 50 traditional. Well, whatever it is. Is it balanced? Whatever it is, I don't mess with this. Oh, well, now the Pirates are going to do a little bit more. That's it. All right, so guys are starting to talk about Action PC, which means that it's time for me to make an exit. Though I do play it. So Steve telling Todd that he's not forgotten about the basketball version of Shanks, planning on getting interested in doing that later this fall. So that would be a lot of fun for you Hoops fans. Todd B says, asking Steve, could you conceivably update NBA stats each week and edit them into Action PC basketball? So see if Steve will come up with an answer. No. Todd B, please stop apologizing. The idea of our community here, guys, ask questions, man, about whatever games you're playing. Don't worry about it. No apologies needed, please. There's no agenda here. So Steve answering that would be tedious and manual. But it is a yes, Todd. Yeah, speaking of which, man, I got to get on Amazon. The Rob Nyer book was supposed to arrive today, and it's already a week late. Hasn't. Really pissed. Was looking forward to that. So, Todd B says, saying, so you're saying there's a chance? Uh-oh. When Todd B starts talking like that, he's shades of MV. Shades of MV, right? It's like Steve already, his brain is turning with MLB The Show, which should be fun. He and Legends teaming up, man, that's scary. That is scary stuff. Steve Tate says, and Shakira's now single, so he's holding out hope. All right. World's Worst Gamer says, in regards to strategy, he says, I don't need to be helping other teams as they are beating me up just fine in out of the park baseball. Todd B, I could talk about PS5 games some night. I will. But as far as specific, like MLB The Show, I will leave that one to Legends, as he is. I don't think anybody would argue this. He is the guru of MLB The Show. I wouldn't even want to attempt to even try that. But yeah, definitely get into some PS5 games. There's some good stuff out there. Grand strategy games finally coming to console. And I would suggest if you get a PS5 and you like big 4X games, I know that got Ken's 4X, woohoo. But Age of Wonders 4 is an absolutely brilliant game. But yeah, we can do some PS5 stuff some night. As soon as I figure out how to stream on the damn thing. Don't know how. So you might pick one up, a PS5. Why not? Why not? And you can also, you don't have to, but Sony does also have PS Plus or PlayStation or PS something or other Pro or whatever the hell it's called, and it gives you access to a huge amount of games going back to like the PS2, PS3, and it's a fairly inexpensive monthly subscription. So if you want to get a big library of games fast, I think it's called PlayStation Plus. And you don't need the version with the disc drive unless you want to, watch some old, DVDs that you have on there. There's Aaron Reed, late to the ball. How you doing, Aaron? Let's see what PS5s are going for right now, really quickly. Because you can find them on sale all over the place. So wow. Okay, so you're not going to need like the full, I mean, if you want to get the fully kitted out, but here's one, $399.99. Let's see who's selling it. There, directplaystation.com. Todd, I'll put this over for you so you can see it. Hopefully it'll scooch over here in a second. Maybe not. But I will put this link in the chat for you, Todd, because this is the best price I've seen on one. Also, if you check with your GameStop or whatever, you can, yeah, I'm sorry that I guess it's not coming over. Very sorry about that. So check that link. But if you go to your local GameStop, you can get a refurbished one if you want. This has a 825 gig hard drive. I mean, unless you go absolutely nuts, you should be fine with this. But these can, I mean, you get one fully kitted out, this can get super expensive. But I would say just get this one, $400, man. That's a good deal. Never had trouble with mine. The thing is a champ. So there are games like that. So, well, and again, not just for old folks, but Age of Wonders 4, Stellaris, more and more big grand strategy games and stuff like that, which were frequently just kind of the kind of exclusive on PC, are now coming to console, because you're getting console gamers now that are getting into their 40s and stuff like that and are more comfortable playing console games. And so you are seeing traditionally PC games coming to consoles and doing really well, as a matter of fact. So I have Age of Wonders 4 both on PC and PlayStation, and it plays just as well with a controller as it does with a mouse. Oh, Red Dead Redemption is amazing, man. Red Dead Redemption is crazy. So, Carlos, yes, says he thinks he's going to have a late night with Out of the Park Baseball. Yes, you will. Yep. Oh my God, just have fun with it, man. So much depth to this game. And Carlos, if you already have Action PC Baseball, man, you're set for digital baseball. Though, I would say go ahead and you know, there's a couple other worthy ones out there, like, but best bang for the buck is right here, Out of the Park Baseball. And I know Digital Diamond Baseball people would argue, so perhaps that's pretty much equal. But I have to do a lot less work in this to set things up than in that. Oh hell, I don't even know where this is. Doesn't matter. Okay, you don't have action. Well, take you one thing at a time. Maybe you don't like action. Action's super deep too. I think these are so like in comparison to like Baseball Mogul to me is like an entry level baseball sim. But these are like the big boy sims. This one, Action PC, Diamond Mind, are really kind of like the big boy sims. No comment on PC Replay Baseball because I can't figure out how to start a damn game in it. Yes, Steve Tate bringing in. We got to get Steve on mic again some night. Damn it! As Steve and I always say, if you don't have Action PC Baseball, why? So you wanted to try Out of the Park where you have every team at once. Yeah, good idea. I mean, that's cool. I didn't know about Action PC Baseball till I found the sports gaming community. And even then, when I was watching it first couple times, I'm like, yeah, but why? I already have everything Out of the Park. And then watching our Red Sox play it more and more, I'm like, damn. So, a couple $1,000 later, and here we are. Todd B says he's going to barnstorm his Shanks team against all-time teams. That's actually not a bad idea. Games are the easiest to stream. Figuring out how to capture multiple windows, and I don't want to use. Oh, you don't want to use a multi-display because I'm using 2 monitors. So I think you know what, you get 3 people, and they'll tell you 3 different things. I think that actually, for me, and Bernie, it's the opposite for him. For me, the easier game to stream is Action PC Baseball, because the fielders are there. The chalkboard is pretty predictable. It's also slower paced than this. You do have to add in. You have to add in a bit more, I think, with Action PC, but I think it's easier. This one's faster. The fielders disappear, so if you sometimes you're going to get caught having to review plays or looking up at the play-by-play. But I wouldn't say any of them are hard to stream. Probably the hardest to stream, weirdly enough, is Diamond Mine Baseball because you're reading to people essentially. So. All right, Texag says he's got the images in Out of the Park 24, and it is working awesome. Nice. Nice. Just a thought, but would it be possible to McGree be an APA? Just a thought. So with APA, you could do a McGreevy from 1871 to 1997, but then if you want to have any players after that, you're going to have to buy those seasons. And that's assuming you have the Fan Park Encyclopedia and create your own seasons. You would need somehow access to every season in APA, but you could definitely do it, yeah. And actually as easily as you can do it in Action PC Baseball. But yeah, Aaron Reed for Diamond Mine, for no sound, that's not even really something you're going to want to mess with. So you mean technically, they're both easy. If you're talking about Out of the Park and Action PC Baseball, they're the same way. So Out of the Park is up there right now, but if I open up Action PC, it will come up if my computer doesn't decide it wants to blow up. And yeah, my computer's pissed off, so it's not going to do that right now. But it will come up in the same window. So I'm going to go ahead and exit. Both easy. Both easy. The one that I have, the one that gives me fits, is Old Time Baseball because it takes over the mouse. So, told me about how to do an Action PC scene. Multi-display was key, so I said, F it. Well, I'll just say it. Said, fuck it. So, no, you don't have to use... The only reason I use multi-display is so I can monitor the chat. If you don't care about monitoring your chat, if you're just recording, if you don't want to live stream, you don't need a second display at all. But if you do, another way to do it, World's Worst Gamer, is do you have an iPad or a an Android tablet? Do one display, log into your YouTube channel on your iPad or Android and monitor your chat from there. And then you can just use one display for that. And you can set it on your Android or iPad that just the chat is showing on your tablet. So that's another way to do it. I like having two monitors. When I first started streaming, I was just doing one, and it was a pain because I would say, if you go back to my earliest broadcast, you hear me say, "All right, now we're gonna go and check the chat," and I actually had to flip to another window. But Windows 10, Windows 11, you can have like a multi-display on the same screen, but you're gonna have to have a pretty big monitor for that to work. But in OBS, you don't have to set up multi-display. Windows does that for you, so you don't have to worry about that there. If you know how to, just dude, seriously. I mean, I don't know if if it's something you just don't like about multi-display, but man, you can find just anything with an HDMI cable and plug it in, and you're good to go. And then just set up your display thing in Windows, set OBS to whatever you capture, and you're off to the races, man. Pop-up windows and games. Action PC seem to have so many to capture. Okay, so that's really, really simple for Action PC Baseball. All you have to do for that one, World's Worst Gamer, is just set up screen capture, and then you'll get everything. Because if you don't want to do window capture, because if you're, say, doing a tutorial in Action PC or you wanted to show some pop-up windows, if you do a window capture, it's not going to show those. So you definitely want screen capture. You definitely want that. Whether you use, if you're using OBS. Now, if you don't care about sound, or if you want to put a mic up to your speakers, StreamYard is the easiest thing to use. StreamYard is a doddle. But, yeah. All right. Yeah, I mean, if you've got a good desktop, just watch it on your laptop. Or again, just run an HDMI cable from out of your desktop computer into your laptop. I'm running an HDMI from one out just to an external monitor is the way I'm doing it. And it works a treat. Aaron says, when I record Action PC or Apple with OBS, I don't know if people can see the app you're playing with. Ah, yeah, we still got to go over OBS with you, don't we? Yeesh. Yeah, give it a shot, man, and see. World's Worst Gamer. Aaron, we have to figure out, does the software that you work read what's on OBS for you? I mean, if it does that, I'll be able to help you really easily. If it doesn't, then we're going to have an old-time baseball problem. Oh, move your mouse over just a little bit, and we know how that worked out, like not well at all. Okay, so then basically all you're doing in OBS, and if I bring this up, is it's going to do the infinite mirror thing. So be ready. There it is. Oh no, no infinite. Let me see. Oh, nothing's coming over into my window, which really sucks. Yeah, Aaron, I'll show you how to do it sometime. We'll just have to do it in Discord. Basically, what OBS is about is select your source, name it, sources and scenes. Set up all that stuff. And you only have to set up your stream key once, and always keep it private. And you only see it, and just do that once off camera. Because if somebody gets your stream key that's the easiest way to hijack your channel. So you just copy it down and boom. They're long, but if they see that on there long enough, you can get hijacked. So you don't want that to happen. Oh, do the images go in? They go in photos. TexAgs. So I'll bring mine up again. You bought it on Steam, so since you bought it on Steam, it's going to be whatever drive you have it on. You're probably already in your Steam directory. Program files, x86, Steam. If they're not showing up, you might still have FaceGen enabled somewhere too. So Steam. Steam. Dumbass. Why am I not doing this right? Hang on. Steam apps. Then you go to Steam apps. I'm sorry, my fault. Common. And once you see your games list, go to Out of the Park 24, data, and it's going to be player photo, or it's going to be photos, not pictures. Double click photos, and there's all your dudes. Okay, so that must mean somewhere in your game you still have FaceGen enabled somewhere. So let's see if we can figure that out for you. FaceGen. Okay, so do none for FaceGen pictures. That's under Game Settings, FaceGen. So none. And then you can do create a player FaceGen pictures on demand. You can just leave that alone. All right, but you want none. Player FaceGen pictures, none. No pictures, no pictures, no pictures. Okay. And then if we go to the Pittsburgh Pirates, go to their home screen, the real players are still up there. So they're somewhere in your settings where you left FaceGen on. So when you're setting up a replay or you're setting up anything, a World Series, I'll do one more here really quickly. Just I don't know that a World Series will do this. Let's go back to the start screen, and we'll pick a fun World Series. So let's go down to Historical Exhibition. Let's select a World Series. I don't know, 1946, since there's so many Red Sox fans around here. Red Sox Cardinals. I think because I already have in my game global settings, I don't think I have to worry about FaceGen in this, but let me make sure. Nah, it's just all ready to go. So that's in your player global settings. Okay, there are two photos for 1990 White Sox, Eddie Cicotte and the manager. All others are FaceGen. Okay, where's the game setting at? Let me show you. Let's return to the Out of the Park main screen. And let me just very quickly, or I'll forget. Actually, I'm probably just going to get rid of the 1946 World Series, because just give me a minute, please. There we go. I'll delete that. Okay. What's the one that we just set up here tonight? Oh, 1919. So we go to 1919, load this up. Okay. Game settings. Right, so the game menu up here, TexAgs. And then, right, you're going to go to game settings. When you click on game settings, it will come to this. Come over here to FaceGen. Make sure this is player FaceGen pictures set to none. So what you might have, because this is going to be global for your game, but since you already set up that league, and I'm hopefully it was just you're setting up a season replay, just knock it out and just redo it, and make sure that you have no fictional pictures. Remember, we set that up. So one more time, I'm going to do this one more time, because you're my friends, and I'm an educator, and I believe that this is how you should do it. Let's pick another season. So no thanks. Let's do 1941. Let's do 1941. That was a great season. All right. So we're going to do 1941. I am going to import Real Negro Leagues. I'm going to click Next. And I think it's step 3 Texags. But we'll get there. Tommy John says, I'm a light eater. When it gets late, I start eating. These are fun little quotes. Fun little quotes. Big JH99. Good to see you. You haven't been in a little while. Giving us some great trivia here one night on all things Deadball, 19th century, and a lot of John McGraw trivia. Good to see you. We already way past the game. We're just doing a little bit of out of the park. How do you do this? How do you do that? Okay. So once again, I would say, transactions, lineups, if you want to use them, you can turn them off. For this one, we'll leave them on. Require full minor league rosters. Again, check to block fictional players, or it will make fictional players. Let's see if I'm right. Is it step 3? No, it's not step 3. Okay, don't care about that. Okay. Go to this, scouting. No, there it is, right here. So step 4, when you're setting up a league, down here, no fictional pictures. For player pictures and coaches, you want no for both of them. And then that face gen color mode means nothing. This is where you set it, right here when you set something up. So after you have that set in your global settings, just make sure that you always select this, because you can do all players and it will face gen or major league players. So no fictional pictures. Next step, 1941. Might actually do some of this on the channel. Why not? Why not? 1941 was a great baseball season. Okay. Let's see. Well, I was born in 1870 in this one. Okay, nice. Commissioner mode, remember, cannot be fired. Manager. And next step. Huh. Yeah, actually could. Big J's asking, can you do a game between the 82 Yankees and the 2023 Yankees to see who sucks? He's tired of hearing about their losing streak. They got photos of some of the players on Wikipedia. Actually, Big JH, you know what? My OBS is acting weird. Check out backtobaseball.com. You take any two players in baseball history, match them up, set the lineups, whatever you want to do, and it will run. And it takes just a few seconds. It will run 5,000 simulations, give you the results, and you can look at the box scores and everything of the first 25 games. But it will tell you, like, the Yankees are going to beat the Red Sox. Well, I'm going to get in trouble here. Let's pick 2 non-controversial teams. The Padres will beat the Diamondbacks 70% of the time this year. Backtobaseball.com. You don't have a computer. Okay, well, then we'll have to do it on here. And if I can bring up backtobaseball.com, I'll show you. It's really cool. We can do it on here without even playing a game. So guys, again, this is now checking on logos. It's assigning everything. So you do have to allow it some time. And this is a fast computer I'm on, but you still got to allow it. It's doing a lot of loading from a different amount of databases, plus all the logos, the ballparks. It's loading everything. All right, so we're in 1941. And, of course, I got to take the Brooklyn Dodgers and start the game. Yeah, we'll do that in a second. Be glad to. Yeah, oh my God, back to baseball. I think that was Big Clue that turned me on to that one. Just brilliant. Just love it. And we're almost there. And there we go. We're in. So there's the Dodgers. We're going to be playing the Giants. Oh, damn. What a great opening day that's going to be. But anyhow, you don't want to hear that shit. So let's go to the team home screen. Well, we can just go to a player list. And there we go. So Texags, all you have to do is just hover over these. And if you're seeing their pictures, you've done it right. If you're not, then you didn't. That's pretty much it. So this is all the waivers, free agency. I don't mess with any of this crap. But if you want to, you can. Of course, it's strategy. You can set, has a nice graphical depth charts and all that nuts. There it is. So I love this. And again, on the graphical depth chart, your player photo should be showing up. Yep, give it another shot. All right, so let me see if I can get my browser to behave itself. So File, Save, and exit out of the park baseball. And do please excuse my billion icons, man. But it's how I roll. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, this is. I wish I could show you. I should show you guys this whole thing because you guys like to look at my artwork. I have to show you this sometime. This is a tattoo design I'm working on. Up here, it's a wolf, but you can't see the rest of them. All right, let's go to backtobaseball.com and let's show Big JH what this guy is all about. And even though you don't have a computer, do you have a smartphone? This will work on your smartphone. You don't need a computer. Okay, so we can go here to simulation, deep sight here, Big JH. So if I go to simulation, all right, you said 69 Mets and 86 Mets. All right, so we can set down here and we'll just put the 1969 Mets. Oh, I think they should get home honors. So let's make the 1986 Mets the visiting team. Okay. And then they're the home team, dumbass. Let me fix this. 1969 Mets, and the away team will be the 1986 Mets. And you're going to love how fast this thing is once you get it set up. It's so cool. And this will work on your smartphone. If you got one. Or a tablet, whatever. Now, you can view lineups. You can see I've done a bunch of these already. View lineups. So you can set these lineups. You can move guys up and down. You can do whatever. All right, so right now for the 86 Mets, we've got Dykstra, Tim Teufel, Keith Hernandez, Gary Carter, Strawberry, George Foster, Knight, Santana, and Gooden as our starting pitcher, right? And so it's going to perform the simulation with these two aces. And I can switch this out, too, if I don't want Tom Seaver, I don't want Dwight Gooden starting. Then for the 1969 Mets, we have, Agee, Gaspar, Boswell, Jones, Charles Kranepool, Grody, Harrelson, and Seaver. Now we're going to perform a simulation, and it's going to simulate this 5,000 times. No, you do not see a corn hub. Nope, 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 nope. So the results are this. So the New York Mets, out of 5,000 simulations, won 54.88% of the games. The New York 1969 Mets won. So they're fairly evenly matched, and just by scrolling over that. And we can look here, and it will do the 25. It'll do 25 box scores. You don't need to see all 5,000. You can modify it if you want. Again, if I click on Cleon Jones, I can search for a player, whatever. I'm not going to. Clear text, what have you. you can go to games, and we don't want. I mean, we could do the 2023 whatever. You want to look at a game? Well, 2010's boring. Let's go to 2015 because I'm a Pirate fan. 2015 and Phillies team 2. It's for Pirates. And I can go to any of these games. So we see that when the Pirates played the Phillies during the 2015 season. Let's go to May 11th. All right. And then I can view like any of these games so that I want. I can actually go to the game and just do it, just play it. So we'll hit view. And is this one? Is it this one? This is great games in baseball history. Sorry guys, it's been a while since I've messed with it. There we go. Pirates 4, Phillies 3. Now, when I click on that, I can get the lineups, the summaries, and everything for that day in 2015, Pirates and Phillies. I can do an audio play-by-play, which, unless you can stand the Microsoft narrator, I'd say don't do it. I can just look at a box score. I can do a text play-by-play or a visual play-by-play, and it would do the entire game. So you are guaranteed an exact season replay in this, and it will give you the little thing down here at the bottom. Again, it will work on your smartphone. So something if you're out somewhere and you just want to look there. So Neil Walker was hit by a pitch. Does all the World Series. It's great. You can advance whatever you want to see, what have you. You want to switch to some out-of-town games that were going on, you can look at them. So it's great. Oh, Tex Ads, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, yeah. So the corn site is on Ken's. That's on Ken's screen. 1986 Mets says Christopher Slovic has made his Final Four in his Creator Cup 2 league. That's awesome stuff. Is there going to be a Creators Cup 3 down the road someday? Anyhow, I don't think we're terribly interested in this one. So, but there's your, whatever. Go to any team that you want, anything that's clickable. So go into this game, White Sox Brewers. If you can just view individual plays. If you go down here to this, you can just view a play. We can watch we can watch Maldonado strike out. So Martin Maldonado. Here we go, and that's it. Let's go to players. You can search players in baseball history. So let's look at Lou Gehrig. All right. You can look at Gehrig. So we see 493 career home runs. But we can go to games where he hit his home runs. So we know here that so Lou Gehrig hit his first home run in 1923, and we can just go to that game. And boom, just go to it if we want to. Everything is from Retro Sheet, and it will tell you down here that there's some things certainly missing. But we could look at Gehrig's. You can get like what pitcher did he hit what home runs off of, at what park it is in this date range. So let's just do find matching plays. And where'd it go? I can't ever find this. Anyhow, this is for you guys to mess around with. Because I don't know if we hit it with. So what else can you do here? There's everybody's stats. And again, this is for, you can pick all kinds of years. This goes back to some missing dates, but does go back to the dead ball era. We could go to 1936. Click go. And now we're in 1936, and we can look at everybody's statistics that way. So, Wally Moses, for instance, for the Athletics, had 149 singles. And there they are. This is every single that Wally Moses hit in that season. And I can go to the play. So here we see he has a single. It was the Athletics versus the Browns. And this is off what? Chief Hogsett, I believe it is. So I can just go to the play. Boop. And Wally Moses is going to get a single, making some, make some good book there, and it will just continue. This is so much fun. And it will just continue the game from here if you wanted to. You can advance. You want to go to the 7th? Go to the 7th. And, of course, it keeps all the scores of today's games. And, hey, we beat the damn Cardinals. Go Bucks. All right. And I can watch the game. We had an active shooter in Pittsburgh today while this game was going on, by the way. The guy was finally killed by a SWAT team. So that was weird. There's a Pirates game on, and there was a active shooter. So the only fatality was a SWAT team shot the guy. But this thing went on for hours. I don't know what this guy had, but there's bullets whizzing all over a part of Pittsburgh. So... Steve said he's working on his 5-year franchise for... Oh, okay, that must be... I see an F there, so it must be F-ball. Chris and Steve having a bromance. Creators Cup 3s in March. So there it is. All kinds of fun. Go by teams. Chicago White... I don't know why I'm doing the White Sox so much these days. But here they are. Go back to, say, the 59 Go-Go Sox. Ken, I'm surprised you don't mess around on this site, man. Some good stuff on here. There's their complete score. Right? You can go to play-by-play, details, whatever you want. So you couple this with Baseball Reference or StatHead, if you pay for StatHead, which you should. And so Saber, StatHead, this, holy hell. And you've got just great stuff. Texag says, appreciate all the help and the patience. Going to call it a night. Yeah, it is time. Yeah, definitely. Definitely see you in the next broadcast. So let's do our thank yous. I think we've gone too far. I'm going to go back as far as I can. Texags, thank you very much. Steve Tate, Christopher Slovic. Christopher loves the pitch clock. Christopher Slovic, Texags. Steve Tate, Big JH99. Thank you for coming in. Cousin King Castro, heart and soul of this channel. Carlos Yaz, welcome to Out of the Park Baseball. Aaron Reed, thanks, buddy. Todd B, thank you. I know RJO Network was in here way earlier, so I'll just thank him because I don't think it's going to go back that far. Thank you. Legend Sports Universe, great channel. He's going to be starting up baseball again around Labor Day. Thank God for that. John DFW was with us for a while. Bernie Strom, Clinton Parks. I always feel badly. I'm always afraid I'm going to miss somebody. But Robbie Wartburg was in here, and this goes back to just Texags asking about or talking about Out of the Park mods being easy to install. So for all of you who were in here earlier, I'm sorry I missed you. Big JH, there's the Yankees 2023 team wins 73% of the time against the 1982 Yankees. Have fun with the site, and yeah. So I don't know if Steve, I don't know if Friday morning Steve, Chris is going to be on this channel at 10 a.m. I don't know what your work schedule is, but if you're on and you feel like coming on, we're going to do it on StreamYard because Chris doesn't want to really do it on Discord. I can send you a link in StreamYard if you want to join us up or whatever. But you guys are going to love Chris, man, and the tales he has to tell. That being said, this is, yeah, I know, World's Worst Gamer. I forgot. You're the enforcer. Dude, I'm sorry. Oh my god. Yeah, so the title, your title, actually, you're Capo Regime. We're gonna promote you from enforcer to Capo Regime. Dwayne Martz, somebody else that was in here earlier, and it's been very quiet. So yeah, Dwayne, when's your next broadcast? I want to know before I sign off here, because I haven't caught any Dwayne Martz baseball here for a day or so. I need to catch some up. See what's going on in 1961. So I get a pass on this, Steve, because I'm waiting for an answer. So, yep, our big thank you to our Capo Regime, World's Worst Gamer. We're not a big enough family to have more than one Capo, so you're the only one. Need an underboss. I think I'm going to make Ken Castro the underboss if we're going to do Mafia stuff. Tomorrow morning around 10. Ah, damn it. All right, I'll have to catch it on the flip side. But I definitely will. All right, gents. Live baseball, love it, digital it, cards and dice it, go back to baseball, read books, get pissed off at Amazon because a book you ordered hasn't shown up. Argue about baseball. And until the next time, see you around the batting cage. And I appreciate every one of you. Support each other, whether you're offline projects or online projects, because we're all here for a common love of, now, all right, I'll say it, sports gaming. How's that? All right, guys, see you around.